Alright, guys! Welcome to your wake now!
Well, fantastic. That's how we're starting. Alright, cool.
I'm still upset. I'm still upset that I couldn't stream Jet Force Gemini on Monday. I am upset.
So
I am very upset.
I'm so upset, guys.
If I keep this up, I'm going to be upstret throat.
Ooh.
I hate strep throat.
Bad joke. Bad joke.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm going to shut up and let the DM talk.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. We're all doing very well. For those of you who this is your first time joining us, we won't really be replying to chat while the campaign is happening unless we're on a break. We'll get like a bathroom break or a snack break or whatever. So yeah, let's get to it. DM, recap us.
Indeed. So, last time we saw our intrepid adventurers, they had awoken to find our own little Jinx capable of speaking Infernal. A bit of pleasant hijinks ensued as the confusion of exactly why Jinx could speak Infernal was, well, not clarified, but made less alarming. Long story short, with the agreement to Luna to aid her in an adventure contractually signed, they gathered some supplies and head out upon the road, during which Luna quickly discovered the gravity of the situation she just got herself in by agreeing to work along with these intrepid adventurers. Setting down camp, our group enjoyed a brief rest before coming under attack by a group of 4 highwaymen. A bit of confusion ensued, but luckily our adventurers came out in the end and managed to net themselves some fine loot, and 4 now rather naked corpses lay beside them as they slumbered through the night. Now we come to our lovely group waking in the morn. Day is pleasant, sun rising over the horizon as you all steadily go back about your day to traveling up towards Aurelia.
Did Jinx have any dreams?
No, Jinx did not have any dreams.
Okay.
Progress.
Right.
So, who is currently keeping a lookout?
I imagine it's probably Fu.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're without Richie today. He had a prior engagement, so
Yes, unfortunately.
Fu will be played by the DM today.
Yeah. Fu's
Hopefully
probably just going to stick next to the client the whole time, because, well, that's our job.
Hopefully I can emulate the lovely dulcet tones of Menusama to some degree. Anyway, as your group heads on down the main road heading towards Aurelia, Fu keeping look, there's largely nothing that really seems to be out of the ordinary. But you do eventually, as you ride along the road, what looks to be a sizable group eventually coming your way straight ahead. And after a few moments, it's obvious that they are coming towards you and not going away from you.
Oh.
So Jinx, does Jinx notice this, or do I need to do a roll?
It's fairly evident. You guys crest a hill, and there's a group. So unless Jinx is doing something that's specifically pulling her attention away from the world around her, it's fairly evident to all of them.
Okay. Yeah. So Jinx goes, "Teacher, we have guests."
Aurelia is extremely on edge after almost dying again, and is like ready to just annihilate whoever is in front of her.
Jinx picks up on this and goes, should I give him the welcome wagon? Holds up a finger and a little ball of flame.
No, do not do that, please.
That's a pretty good food.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Really good food.
Aurelia,
Is Richie here? What the fuck?
The last thing we need is pissing off another group of raiders. So if you could please just put the explodey bit down.
I was about to say.
Aurelia,
Like, no.
Aurelia looks at Fu, takes a breath, and is just, you're right, sorry, still on edge.
We seem to have raised a little bit of an arsonist.
Presently, you can't really discern many details at a glance unless anybody wants to specifically, do a perception check to see what this group is.
I don't think we raised an arsonist.
Yeah, no.
She was always an arsonist.
No. Yeah, I was always an arsonist. It was just,
I'll roll a perception check.
Garth's rolling a perception check. Anyone else want to roll as well?
I guess I will too.
E.
All right.
By -2.
Aurelia's calmer, but Aurelia's also on guard in case she needs to do something at a moment's notice.
Hey, that 23, boys.
I rolled an 11.
I am looking at whatever.
No, you're too concerned with the fireball that I have not put out yet.
Yeah, so
like I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, I'm a fireball.
I'm gonna put him on fire. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set him on fire.
Fu rolled a 10. So unfortunately, with Fu, Lief, and Jinx, aren't really able to discern much. However, Ankel, while you may tend to be smaller, your eyes are generally better honed at discerning details at a glance with your choice of profession. Looking at the group ahead of you, there does seem to be the telltale glint of light off of armor. And this group, you can see they're walking in a loose formation. It is not militant, but it is definitely a professional formation. Nothing really looks like these are civilians or potentially highwaymen. They look to be soldiers of some sort, and they are coming towards you. The next, I'd say, 10 to 15 minutes, they are likely to come and pass you. Is there anything anybody wants to prepare or...
Real quick, before we go any further, Royce, when you're rolling for Fu, can you make his dice public?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Sorry, I've got my dice rolls automatically set to GM roll, so yeah, I'll alter those so that y'all can see.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You said 10 to 15 minutes?
Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes at your present pace.
I could probably hit him from here.
No.
Yeah, no. It's a little beyond your range.
That's not what I'm worried about.
If it's about 10, yeah, if we're going to meet each other in about 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to start ritual casting Detect Magic just to see if I need to get more information at a sudden glance. Unless you guys think that there's something that we don't want nixed off of us, in which case I could put alarm on it.
Getting closer, 10 minutes away.
Yeah, I'm just going to do Detect Magic in case... It's the only non-violent thing I can prepare right now.
I'm gonna, you know, if I see any, if I feel threatened in any way, I'm ready casting Fireball.
Is there any particular place that I could probably hide in to do a ambush if need be?
Presently, not really. Your present surroundings are largely grassland. There's no real high shrubbery. There's just mostly flat fields. And the cart itself is basically just a flat cart. There's nothing really occupying it, save for some light supplies that Fu and
Is he a Lightfoot halfling or a stout halfling?
Carson?
What's the difference?
The difference is Lightfoot halflings can actually hide behind other creatures that are a size higher than them.
Would that be in features?
Yes. I don't know why I'm asking you and not just looking it up myself.
Yeah.
Halfling, brave, halfling, nimblest, naturally stealthy. Yep, yeah, you're a Lightfoot halfling. So you could hide behind Fu, says the character sheet.
Yeah, so if you want to hide behind Fu, definitely could.
All right, I'll do that.
All right, make a stealth roll.
Hell yeah, boys. All right, stealth.
The group is getting closer. Aurelia is preparing her own non-lethal spell. Jinx is being Jinx. Fu is continuing to pilot the cart and looking to Jinx warily.
God damn it.
Well, it's kind of hard to hide in the current circumstances.
Yeah, the cart's jostling. It's not the best hiding place. So as time passes, the group gets closer and closer, and as it gets to within 70 or 80 feet, it's very easily discern that these seem to be guards of some sort. And coming closer, there's a gentleman ahead of them, currently in all plate mail, raises a hand up, and you hear in the distance, "Oh!" And they slowly make their way to stand in front of the road. Not threateningly, they're not grabbing their weapons. They're simply hailing you down.
Oh shit!
Is there anything that you wish to do beforehand? Because Fu is going to stop the cart.
Hold on a second. Tony's outside getting our orders.
Oh, the food showed up.
Yeah, the food showed up.
I'm just gonna get one of my swords ready just in case.
Okay, I was gonna say that stealth where you roll is going to stick with you for this encounter. Just let you know in case you want it. We're gonna try and roll another one. But Yeah, so with your short bow, or
Well, I'm just before they kind of really exactly get in reach. I would have assumed that I would have been pretty darn close with my detect magic.
oh yeah, they got in the way and they hailed you down, and this is pretty much occurring as the cart is slowing down to come and meet them.
As the cart's slowing down, if detect magic is ready to fire, I'm gonna set it off just so that I'm not setting off a spell in front of them.
No problem. So yeah, the cart slows down. Fu looks over to Jinx. Jinx, I swear to God, don't do this. Muscle teacher will be very angry. And the cart eventually comes to a stop. Gentleman who hails you down eventually slowly approaches. Aurelia, you do not pick up anything magical with these gentlemen.
Hey, the only thing magical that I'm picking up is freaking Jinx not calming the balls down.
Yeah, jinxing yourself in the magical.
I am detecting evocation magic from the child. Aw, shit.
Yes, evocation out of your mouth.
Or as Jinx refers it, the kaboom boom type.
No.
Yeah, with this group, all of them seem to be are actually set up in some very high quality plate mail and some very nice weapons. There's it looks to be about 5 wielding blades of sword, 4 who seem to be holding heavy crossbows. So they're very well equipped, and they all have an emblazoned golden star on the front of their armor.
What does the condition of the equipment look like? Does this look like squeaky clean, fresh off of the forge type stuff?
Not fresh off the forge, but very high quality, very well maintained.
Oh, so it looks maintained but not new. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not brand new, but it is very well maintained.
Yeah, that's enough of an information for me to not want to mess with these guys. If it's brand new, it's like, oh, look at all the people with all the money they can spend. If it looks maintained, shit, they know how to use those.
Yeah. So with that gentleman, the person who hailed you down, they lift up the vise that was originally covering their face, and you see what looks to be a half-orc staring before you. He's got a very neutral face. He doesn't look to be antagonistic at all. And as he approaches, he puts on a slightly friendly smile. Good day, adventurers. We are a small detachment from Aurelia going to Bexley. Wouldn't perchance happen to be hailing from Bexley, would you? Is there any news from that way since we're going there?
Well, shoot, this is the part where Fu usually likes to talk a lot, but he's not here.
No, Jinx, you know what? Jinx is upon seeing the smile, the fireball winks out.
I don't like the idea of Jinx being our ambassador.
No.
It's too late. It's happening.
No.
Oh, no.
No, Jinx, you hush. Let muscle teacher talk.
Jinx is not allowed to be an ambassador. She's going to get us killed.
I'm a little... She put the fireball... When she puts the fireball out, I'm almost like, okay, as long as they don't explode, I'm curious where this is going. Morbidly.
I'll say to hell with it, Anthony. Make a persuasion check.
Well, right. I want to hear what you has to say first.
Well, no. I like doing the persuasion check first. I like that.
Okay.
Give me a moment.
You're gonna let the dice determine how much effort you're gonna put into this.
I am persuasive as fuck.
You are charismatic as hell. And the dice agree with you.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Fu looks down at you and then just looks at you very stern look and says, I'll let you talk a little bit, but if I get any funny business, it's muscle teacher's turn.
Yeah. Well, she put the fireball out. You know what? Yeah, she put the fireball out, so that's probably what convinced him.
Oh, you won't have to worry about funny business. I'm not a comedian.
The gentleman is still standing in front of you, slightly perplexed and now showing slight amusement as he looks between Fu and then to the smaller human girl.
So we're from Bexley. We're the reason it's still there. We killed a thing that busted through a big wall that happened to be filled with a bunch of pedophiles.
Oh, God.
Not pedophiles, some nasty cultists of sorts. We got that under control.
Hey, they touched me.
Oh, my God.
They touched all of us. That's special. The guard kind of looks to Jinx with like a hint of doubt, but as food, pipes in, he believes the story a bit more. Yes, I had understood that there was reinforcements needed in Bexley. Must have been fairly serious to send out the first cohort.
Yeah, we blew them up.
You blew up Bexley? What?
No, the threat, the guy, the mean people.
Yeah, but Bexley needs a little bit more help.
Well, I guess technically speaking, we did blow up part of Bexley.
No, we didn't.
Well,
I
so
broke the
long as
wall.
Bexley is still standing, I suppose there's no ill will between us. Mind if I ask what you all seem to be doing on this stretch going to Aurelia? Since you seem to be the fabled heroes of Bexley.
Oh god, we're heroes of Bexley.
Jinx points to the dark elf lady. It's like, she needs to find a MacGuffin.
Yeah, Luna holds
First
up a
off,
hand.
I
and-
am appalled at the fact that you know what a MacGuffin is.
Yeah.
Luna holds up a hand and says, yes, I've contracted them to assist me with a venture of sorts, so they are currently under my employ. Who simply nods, that's what? The guard seems fairly pleased with this and goes to return to his small squadron and continue walking along before he sees a strange figure trying to cower behind Fu. Just kind of gives a dismissive, and continues walking.
Well, they should understand. These are guards. They should understand that we have guards too.
So with that, your interaction
Halfling
has
guard.
Good.
fortunately occurred with
I'll
no
be right back.
malicious intent,
Yay.
and you continue onwards towards Aurelia.
Yeah. Well, I feel good that somebody's gonna go look over Bexley while we go elsewhere.
Oh yeah, if you recall, Captain Millicent, all of her guards are presently busy seeing to cleaning up the mess with Bexley, so she did send a request for reinforcements to the town at least.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's them. Okay, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And like I said, they are very well equipped.
Good.
So with that, your venture.
They need to be. They're going to be fighting horrific things.
Yeah, the cultist threat wasn't. There was belief that it was still possibly a threat, but there wasn't any active assault. They were pretty much just weeding them out and pretty much doing cleanup.
I can't. Every time
So-
I tap, it blinks. Ah.
Things are on a decline. So after that interaction, nothing more seems to occur. The weather remains rather nice. Clouds seem to be gathering, but nothing seems to indicate poor weather ahead. As you venture further north, there does come to be a brief nip in the air. Not terrible. You're not getting to Arctic or high northern weather, but there is a distinguishable change in the temperature. And with that, Luna kind of gives a little shiver. Oh goodness, it's a little chilly up here.
Yeah.
Jinx goes, I can set you on fire.
No, do
No.
not do that. She is our look, Jinx. She is our employer. We are to respect her because we are contractually obligated to do so.
I love
Listen
how
to muscle
I
teacher.
love how if it wasn't for the fact that we were freaking out, anyone else would have thought it would just be like that would have been just like a funny gesture. And then as soon as we're like, Jinx, please no, then they realize, oh, she was serious.
Right.
Yes.
So upon hearing that, alright, so because Lief wears like layers of clothing, he has like a black kind of like turtleneck kind of shirt underneath.
A tunic of
He
sorts?
Haha.
A tunic?
Well, it's more like kind of like skin tight almost, like
Okay.
black shirt, and then he has kind of like somewhat of a tunic over it. He takes the tunic part off, and kind of puts it over her shoulders. Like it's not like completely warm, but it's like, here, this will do until we find something more suitable.
Luna didn't ask, but she appreciatively tugs a little more firmly across her shoulders and gives an appreciative nod. Thank you. She's presently wearing very light robes and very light attire, more befitting of the slightly warmer climate. So she's not totally prepared for the slight chill on the air. So, with a brief change of temperature, weather largely staying the same, things are rather pleasant. As you crest a hill over the slightly hilly grasslands that you've been traveling across, you eventually come to and do see the city of Aurelia sprawled out before you. I'm going to move to that just so there's a better idea, but as you see there, you see this very large circular tiered city sprawled out and tucked in between these massive lakes stretching out along all sides. Think of like one of the Great Lakes almost, with how big it is. The city itself, it's built in the slight dip into the lake, and before the city, there's miles and miles of farmland, and it almost glimmers like like a white stone upon the land, and with the whole visage, it's rather grand. And real quick, anybody who's proficient in history, make a history check.
I don't think I am. No.
Is anyone proficient in history?
I have like a +2.
I have a +1.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. This is gonna be fun.
Watch him.
I'll try a roll too.
Okay. We'll drop the proficiency and just try a general history check.
Oh,
Darkon isn't.
not almost 20 though.
I have the highest.
Oh my
I have
God.
the highest intellect here. I think on
Fuck.
for flat history.
Well, go ahead and try. Go ahead and try.
So, Jinx,
Not much better.
Jinx, upon seeing the lake, she goes, "Wait, I know this place."
Yeah, Jinx, you know this is a place with a area that has people in it. Aside from that, most of you just know that.
I want to know what Jinx thought this place is. What is this place, Jinx?
It's a pond.
Correct. DM, continue
Well,
talking.
you know what?
So, okay, get the laughs out. So, everyone else largely seems to not, pull to mind as anything specific beyond. That's the capital city of Aurelia, and Lief, you managed to discern that the lake behind it is Shimmersilt Lake. Aurelia, you pull a bit more information, and you do manage to recall a bit of history on Aurelia. Aurelia is basically a city formed from the 5 noble houses that originally occupied this land, and it operates on a 3-tier basis. There's a bronze district, silver district, and the gold district. That was pretty much kind of like a class system. It's very, very well filled with both cultural and industrial variety, since it is sort of like a nexus for the original 5 cities that bound together and formed Aurelia. So it's
like Chicago.
Little bit, except it's not. Actually, yeah, it is on Chicago. I was thinking New York.
And it's even near a Great Lake.
Probably, hopefully less crime, but yeah, a little bit like fantasy Chicago. All right, and with that, you eventually come to the gates, passing some various farmlands. You do from here and there, you do have some farmers or some folk working the land. They pass you on their carts. They give you a wave. A few kids kind of laugh and jump up and down and wave as they point out the interesting characters. One even attempts to jump on Lief's back before his mother shoos him away and dissuades the attempt.
That would have been
all rather cute.
Well,
all rather cute.
You're gonna see Aurelia like smiling and nodding while also making sure that her hood is very well covering her horns.
Oh, as you start coming up to the city, you do eventually see the furthest wall. And as I said, since it's a tiered city, you do still get a peek of the further walls inward. So it's kind of like a rising wedding cake almost of architectural grandeur.
Welcome to Heaven's Word. Wow.
Yeah, sure. This is foundation, sure.
Yeah.
There we go.
No, it's not nearly cold enough for that, but yeah.
So it's about I'd say 11, 12 o'clock. It's not terribly late into the day. The day is kind of reached its zenith. And the main city gates are straight ahead. They're very large, solid metal gates. These are gates designed to take on a siege, along with the walls themselves, which are thick, heavy, white stone of some sort. Eventually, as you come to the gates, a stranger who seems to have a hood pulled over his head kind of waves you down. Any of you do... Fu is going to make no attempt to slow down. Do any of you wish to see what the stranger seems to be reaching out to you for? Hold on. Mila, come on. Off.
Just a singular person waving at us?
Yeah, seems to be flagging down to you with great import.
Well, I want to bring it up and confide with the group on, like, what is that? What's that about?
Well, you're currently moving, so it's going to be a quick decision process.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's heard of us, and he wants our autograph.
Yeah, well, if somebody's running towards us in distress,
Well, no,
I want to at least
no,
know
he's not
what's going
running towards you. He's just standing by the road, kind of beckoning you with a hand. He's not running at you.
How urgent does he like seem to be? Is it just like beckoning over, or is it like
Fairly urgent. He's waving both hands, like in a come here motion.
Okay, that seems that has piqued my interest. I wanna stop and take a look.
All right, so Aurelia votes to stop. Anyone else?
I don't give a fuck.
What teacher says?
Jinx goes
Damn
with
it!
what
I miss I miss Richie. I would probably get some like quick like back and forth between Fu and Richie if he was here on that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have Richie's quick banter.
No,
But with that,
yeah, I think Fu would just be like, "Well, we need to go do the thing," but the person looks like this looks interesting.
yeah, I
Fucking,
was gonna say,
fucking fine.
Can I guess, would it be perception or insight?
what are you trying to do?
I guess just like make sure this person isn't dangerous. Like, what if they're
Okay, at your distance, I'll say perception because you're not intimately close, so it's going to be hard to find details. But yeah, perception, you can try and take a glance over the character to try and find anything that might be initially alarming. So yeah, make a perception check.
So everything looks clear.
They look like a
fucking rolls to? Oh my god!
they look like a person with a cloak who seems to be beckoning you down.
Yeah, no shit.
In a cloak.
Who,
Hey, we actually
who-
got more information from that. Yay.
Leaf, Jinx noticing Leaf's kind of like worried expression because, oh, don't worry, they try something, we'll burn them.
I'll roll a perception.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Alright.
great idea. Let's make a giant explosion right next to the town outside the siege walls.
I'll roll a perception to see if I can get any more information on the person that's waving.
all right, go ahead. Fu, as all this is happening, kind of gets,
Oh my god!
Uh,
Fuck!
yeah, Fu does,
Absolutely
Fu does
nothing
give
looks dangerous for stopping.
Yeah, Fu does give a sigh as the party seems to unanimously be more unanimously be voting to see this stranger, and even Luna's curiosity is piqued as everyone else seems to be like nothing seems strange, and y'all are the adventurers who she has great confidence in. So Fu just gets like, fine, if Miss Luna wishes to see this stranger, we can do that. Jinx, hold on the fire.
Oh,
Don't-
I'll hold fire.
Don't blow them up immediately. Let them speak, okay?
Oh, so burn them slowly. Got it.
No!
You know what? No fire. With that,
Ice?
as you
I can do ice. Would you like me to do ice?
just
Later.
hold on.
The best way to answer this in a way that she'll understand is later.
Leaf just picks Jinx up because I'll just babysit her over here.
What about acid?
Thank you. No. And with that, the cart slows down as the stranger who's been beckoning you over walks up, and again, with it being midday, there's some fairly good illumination. You're largely still in the farming area. There's no dense buildup, save for a few homes here or there along their farmsteads. The stranger in question, their skin immediately you see is very, very dark, like black. And as they pull back their hood, you see as they're fairly common in this land, a drow, and seems to be a male, and he's got this shock of white hair that's pulled back and slicked back in a ponytail, and he's dressed up in a very simple garb, nothing that seems to be very heavy, very light. And as he approaches you, he gives a friendly wave to you. Hello. Looks like you answered my calls. You wouldn't happen to be interested in helping a person in need, would you? Depends on what you need.
Depends on how much you're paying.
I immediately regret this decision. What's going on?
Okay. Look, it's really simple. I am a shop owner. Unfortunately, I seem to have lost my trader's license, and I need to get some stock into one of my cohorts.
And he reaches behind himself and pulls out a bag.
I have some processed lyricide here. If you could just take this into the city and take it to my friend in the Laughing Dragon, he will reward you handsomely.
I'm going to immediately take a look over at our client and see if she recognizes the name of whatever the hell he just said.
Yeah, and I was actually on top of that, anybody who's magically inclined, make an arcana check.
Oh.
Do I count?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh fuck! Even though I have a +2 to Arcana.
I'm sorry, but this is for people who
I'm a primary spellcaster type thing.
Okay.
I just realized
Oh boy.
I just realized that Lief is just boring.
No, Lief is very honed in certain aspects. She's just not too heavily aspect in magic. She's a lovely mix between.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you pick fighter class. Fighter class fights, and then it fights, and then.
Anyway, for the sake of brevity, so with this, Luna looks at the bag and she gestures for the gentleman to come forward. Open it up. Let me see. And as she opens up as he opens up the package, he gives us a peek, but he kind of shields it and he shows it to you. Well, inside the bag, there's these glowing yellow crystalline shards, and excuse me, Luna says, that's processed lyrisite. And immediately when you hear processed lyrisite, you understand that lyrisite is, for lack of a better term, crystallized magical essence. It forms around very powerful, very constant areas of raw magical energy throughout the lands of Idelas.
I am not letting Jinx touch this.
I want to touch it.
No.
It's known to be very volatile in its unprocessed state and is potentially addictive. It is often used by magic users to augment or replenish their magical energies, and even by non-magical users as a form of artificial vigor when they need it the most. Again, though, it can be addicting if taken in heavy amounts.
So it's a drug.
The unprocessed one is volatile.
It's magic Viagra.
The unprocessed stuff is very volatile, but you said that this is processed lyrisite?
Yeah, he said it's refined is essentially another term for processed. Unprocessed is essentially the natural crystalline formations before they're shaped and properly worked.
So now comes the immediate questions of why is this guy with no license giving around magic rocks, and what is the laws in Aurelia on such a product?
I will say this is generally throughout Idelas and from the various homesteads of which you all originate from, lyrisite isn't exactly a controlled substance. It is widely used. It's kind of like gasoline. You know, gasoline can kill you if you light it on fire.
Yeah.
Jinx casts message at Aurelia.
Okay.
So that we can communicate without him realizing.
Okay.
And she goes, take it. We'll just keep it, and we can use it for magic.
And Aurelia does message's ability to reply with, or we can help him, and then get even more of them later.
I was gonna say, can I roll a persuasion to try to get more information about this from him?
You can. I do also want to note, Anthony message, you whisper a message, so that it is still vocally communicated.
Yeah, I want to try to get more information.
The target hears the
this.
message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. Huh. Well, in any case, like, we're being quiet, but we're probably not.
I'm just letting you know for
we're not being stealthed about it, but we're.
There is still a verbal, but I just want to let you know for future context, so that a mistake.
He knows we're talking. He knows we're talking, but he doesn't get to hear what we're talking about. And hey, you can't expect us to not deliberate about this.
No, I'm not. I'm just making sure he was known, because it made it seem like he was mentally.
No, that's telepathy. Right. Telepathy is different.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Carson, if you want to make a persuasion check, sure. Say what you want to say and roll a persuasion check.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is, can you give us more information about why you need this brought in, this person that you want us to bring it to? Just some general information that we need.
Okay. Look, it's like I said.
Yeah, that's definitely he confides in you, and you seem to exude an energy he can appreciate, and he kind of lets some of his guard down.
You can trust me.
You. Yeah, exactly. You've got a roguish charm about you, but he kind of looks over to you. Yeah. Okay, look, it's like I said. I lost my
trader's license. I don't know where it went. It must have gotten filched by somebody who may have been. I don't know. Long story short, I need to get to my friend. He's in the Laughing Dragon.
Okay, he meant physically lost. Okay, I thought he meant like revoked lost. That's a very different context.
Yeah. Look, this stuff isn't some kind of drug, but unfortunately, not every schmo and Larry can be peddling this stuff. Okay, you need to have proper licenses and stuff. And well, guess what? I don't have mine, and I don't feel like spending a week in the dungeons.
Jinx goes, all right, well, give us another bag of it, and maybe we'll consider it.
I only have one bag.
He's trying to get it.
You're supposed to.
I'm curious where he's getting the stuff. Yeah, I'm curious where he's getting the stuff from. That's what I care about.
What's in it for us if we help you?
Sorry.
There's gold in it for you. I guess you like gold, yes?
Oh, I like gold. Does our shopkeeper buddy friend, that's not inherently necessarily a trader, but someone who deals in magic would probably have their own form of trader's license. Are we trader licensed with her?
It's
our client?
Generally, it is those who practice in commercial arcane wares. They have more or less a license to peddle those wares. Lyricite generally falls within that license.
All right. So does our client have one?
Yes.
So it would absolutely make perfect sense for us to walk through the doors, say, we're with her, here's the thing, here's what we're having, and there's no legal problems. I say we do it. I say we do it. I don't see any downside from this.
So long as we're adhering within the realms of the law, this should be fine.
Yeah. We have our own license to get it in through the walls. It should be absolutely fine.
Uncle just kind of shrugs and then lays back on the wagon, moving his hat over his face and just like tuning the rest of it out, not caring anymore.
Aww.
Just waiting to get paid.
Holds out her hand, and the stranger, he ties up the bag very tightly and says, right, so be careful with it. May not be like a raw lyricite, but you don't want to be throwing this stuff in. Again, don't be rooting through it. I don't want any of this getting lost, okay?
Immediately everyone looks at Jinx and Jinx looks confused.
Yeah. He's essentially telling you not to go rooting around through it because apparently he doesn't want anything possibly falling out.
Well, it's same thing with like who the hell opened the giant boxes that we ship all the materials in real life. Don't do that.
Yep, hers.
Yep.
All right.
I don't see anything wrong with this.
Uncle doesn't give a fuck. He just wants paid.
Excellent. My cohort in the Laughing Dragon will give you payment upon receipt. Just tell him that Dane sent you, okay?
Dane.
Yes,
okay.
Dane.
Actually, I wanna ask him one more question. Just
which is
ease the mind of Uncle, because now thinking about it, Uncle looks at him and says, "Have you seen any guy that looks like he might be a bit of a bounty hunter?"
You talking about Van Pelt?
Yeah. But wanting to be vague about it.
Okay, well, bounty hunters aren't that uncommon, so you're gonna have to give some form of discerning details.
I'm trying to remember what you explained he looked like.
Van Pelt wears a pith helmet. He has a glorious blonde handlebar mustache, and generally goes about in breastplate armor with a rich purple arm cape over his left arm.
Yeah, I'll just be like, have you seen a bounty hunter that has like a cape over his arm at any particular chance?
Oh, you know, now that you mention it, there was a guy like that who came by here a couple of weeks ago, but he went over to, last time I heard he went over to Bexley searching for some kind of mark. Why, are you that mark?
No. I'm gonna roll deception and just go absolutely not.
Aurelia almost wants to get onto this and just like, no,
I just know the guy, okay?
Okay, make it with advantage since Aurelia is.
I was gonna say Aurelia is just like it's the mark he's looking for is one that we're a little curious in myself.
But wait, what would I add if it's advantage?
Just roll twice. And take the highest.
Okay.
That's the command to make it work the fancy way if you want to do it.
Okay, because I have a +7 in deception.
Okay, then just roll that and then do +7.
Okay. All right, cool.
Just put a
No, but yeah,
slash roll in
it's
front
like
of that.
no. I was just curious. Some the people that just came by and see if there was anything interesting going on with them.
Well, we already like money. We're always on the ways to look to just try and find more money.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I understand that. Sometimes bounty hunters can be a little scary, yeah. Anyway,
A little competitive. They're after our stuff.
Laughing Dragon, ASAP, tell him Dane sent you. Oh, he is a black dragonborn at the Laughing Dragon. He should be there. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I like you.
I like you too. Now
And
we have a small
I'm just glad that I
introduction.
don't have to worry about Van Pelt.
Now we have a small introduction to apparently these magic rocks that are the source of magic when we are currently trying to look for magic items. I think this is a very good starting introduction.
Yeah, I do want to clarify. They're not the source of magic, but they are a source of,
They're concentrated magic rocks.
Yes,
I
essentially.
think they're going to be in some degree potentially related, or at least get us to the right people to help with our search.
All right. With that, as you venture further up to Aurelia, you do eventually get to the main gates, and as you do, there is a small set of kiosks in front of this main gate, and essentially, it's customs. So as you pull up, one of the guards, simple garb, kind of like the armored folks that you saw before, but he's wearing a breastplate with a tabard over it with a similar yellow star in front of it. Hold! Coming to Aurelia, I speak. Yeah, I do see you do have any goods you wish to declare that you are coming here for commercial exchange or selling within the limits of Aurelia.
Yep. Aurelia looks over to. I need to remember her damn name, so I stop calling her client friend.
Luna.
Luna, thank you. I look over to Luna. I ask for Luna to procure the trader license, and then show up with the magic rocks and just this.
Yeah. Luna does procure a license, and she prevents before the guard. We are simply coming for basic trade. That we do have a brief commercial exchange for these items. This is lyrisite processed. Don't worry. He takes it up, opens up the bag.
Yeah.
And he unties it and begins to sneak a finger through there, kind of sorting through it. You hear a faint crackle from these rocks.
Aurelia is going to immediately caution him to be careful where he pokes his finger because they are still explodey magic rocks.
Yeah. Luna even also has her hand outstretched like, oh god, please be careful. The guard looks up. I know this stuff. Don't worry, I ain't gonna throw it at ya. Yeah, it's all fine. Here you go. Go inside. With that, currently free to pass into Aurelia. The large gates themselves, while at a distance look like they were closed, are actually not closed. They are held ajar slightly. Both of these gates, truly, Neela, come on.
Oh wow, the gates' names are Neela. Cool.
Sorry. Yeah, the Neela gates. The gates themselves are truly massive. Each gate, a pair of two metal gates, stands easily 50 foot high and are easily about 30 feet wide and just set heavily in these huge towering 60-foot walls now that you're immediately upon them. These are massive fortress-grade walls as you pass into the city itself. Going into the city, you're immediately going into the Bronze District. The city is essentially oriented in 3 rings. Furthest ring and the largest is the bronze. Middle ring, which is the second largest, is the silver, and the smallest and closest circle is the gold district. With this, if there's anything that you want to ask around, or
what I want to know is where can we put the cart for the meantime?
Yeah, with that, Luna does manage to find. I don't know what the term for it is, but
stable.
Like a parking lot for carts and horses. Yeah, I guess a stable, but essentially like a storage area that you can see. You can store your carts and your horses just so that you know where they are.
Righty ho! As soon as we are parked, I'm going to ask everybody to check that damn bag. I don't trust the guy who poked it.
Agreed.
Okay. Who's looking in it? Because Fu has no interest in poking.
Fine. Aurelia looks into it.
I was gonna say Jinx will look into it. There you go.
No.
You are not poking around inside a bag of exploding rocks. Thank you.
All right,
Magic
Aurelia, is gonna, I guess, investigation to see if he did something.
If you want, sure.
Again, if there's nothing there, then you just tell me that there's nothing there. Then.
Yeah, it's a bag. It's about like the size.
Well,
of
crap.
like a soft...
I'm being way too careful. But
well,
that's fine.
no, it's about a softball-sized bag. It fills your hand. It's a little hefty, maybe a pound of weight in your hand. You open it up and you fish through it, and there's that same telltale crackle. Nothing immediately, pokes out at you, but you do find as you sort through it deeper in the bottom, you do see a different glow, and you see what is essentially a yellow crystal. This is unprocessed lyrisite.
So that's why he had us smuggle it in.
It's not a lot. There's only the shards themselves are about 3-4 inches long and about an inch or two in width, and there's maybe 3 among the larger amount of processed shards.
Well, Aurelia's going to very securely tie that to whatever that she can tie to the body. And just she kind of lets out a sigh and goes, "Okay, so that's why he needed us."
You tied it to the body, her body?
Yeah, there's probably like a pouch or a belt or something that I can tie it to.
Didn't know that
and it's just like
killed someone already.
No, it's just all right. Well, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this carefully, and then I'm gonna take a good long glare at that guy.
Uncle looks over at Aurelia and says, "So we're doing something that we originally did not plan on doing because we found something in the back."
Slightly, a little different, and a little
Luna is
words.
looking at you concerned.
We're just. It's just we're just gonna go do what we're going to do, and then get paid, and then we're going to look at him and leave.
Understood.
Well, Luna seems satisfied with your confidence in this matter.
Yep. No, we just go and sell it, and not sell it, but give it to the right person, and then and then he deals with it.
All right. So the grinning dragon, I believe I said it was the grinning dragon. Laughing dragon. Apologies, dealing with a cat right now. Laughing Dragon itself, eventually you do manage to discern that it is located within the silver district of Artelia, and there's no issue going from the bronze to the silver. The only issue being that if you want to go from silver to the gold, you do generally need to be a person of import or have some official papers to put in. So there's no issue going into the higher end district. Within here, there is definitely a change from architecture. Within the bronze district, it was a lot more wooden and thatch roof locations, maybe some masonry buildings. A lot more buildings in the silver district are well-made masonry-based buildings, some even sporting multiple stories, as well as like higher trade locations like blacksmiths, goldsmiths, arcanists, and various taverns. The tavern in question, the Laughing Dragon, it's about a sizable tavern. It's got a good three stories to it, and it's got this lovely placard of, as the name instills, a dragon who seems to be laughing. Inside the tavern, the environment is warm, very cordial, and as the stranger who had told you, as Dane had told you, there does seem to be a black dragonborn sit opposite of the entryway, sitting in a booth all by himself, not really looking out, not really trying to socialize amid the sizable crowd who are going about and enjoying their evening. Is there anything that you wish to do?
He said
it was immediately going to go to the bar.
He said beeline right to the guy.
Of course you did.
Right.
Go ahead,
guy.
She points up at him and she goes, "You. I assume you're the Laughing Dragon. Start
all
laughing."
Right. Pause. As Jinx is doing that, is there anything else anyone else wants to do? Meanwhile,
Aurelia's gonna let out a small chuckle. That's all.
Okay.
Well, we're at the Laughing Dragon. I don't see a real dragon. This is the closest thing to a dragon. Now, damn it! It better laugh, or I'm gonna be upset.
All right. Uncle
just annoyingly, just scratches his head, just like, oh god, why am I here?
To earn some money.
Lief, Lief is gonna basically take Jinx by the hand and be like, okay, we're coming over here. You are being very, like, you know, I don't.
Okay,
She's high on Twinkies.
So as a
No,
Jinx-
Jinx goes. She's like, no, we came all this way to see a laughing dragon. I'm not leaving till I see a laughing dragon.
Well,
So as Jinx very overtly and blatantly walks straight towards the Black Dragonborn, of whom seems to be wearing some simple scale mail. Walking up, he does not seem to be awake. You hear faint snoring and there is a distinct smell of stale ale. You just hear a very faint snoring.
Crisis averted.
He's currently asleep.
Yeah,
Wish to
well,
wake him?
Leaf is going to grab Jinx and be like, we're not waking up the sleeping dragonborn. We're not doing that. Come here.
Well, was it the Black Dragonborn?
It was the black one. That's our client.
Is there
I
any
know,
other?
but-
Is there any other Dragonborns in this entire place?
You can make a perception check.
Okay.
Take in your surroundings. You look around the establishment. You get a good appreciation for its decor, and you do not see any dragonborn, but you do see along a very large hearth that is situated in the opposite wall a large dragon skull mounted above it.
That one doesn't look like it's laughing.
No, its mouth is open, so it could possibly be laughing.
Oh my god, it could be ball.
Same thing. So it looks
Again,
like that's your guy.
Jinx is adamant here, so she's not just like she's trying to, it's like, listen, damn it, laughing dragon. There's got to be a laughing dragon. It's the name of the place. That means there's got to be one. That's like a law or something.
Well, we'll see if he's laughing after we give him the stuff.
Leaf looks at Jinx and goes, well, my name is Leaf, but do I look like a leaf to you?
No, but you're silent like a leaf.
Luna gently taps the Dragonborn on the shoulder. Excuse me. Dragonborn still sleeping. I was having a nice nap. He just leans his head in his hand and he's looking at you through one eye, one very bloodshot Dragonborn eye.
Well, don't you seem to be in a fantastic mood right now?
I'm a right proper sunshine. What do you want?
Wait, I thought you were a dragonborn.
What?
I am you.
Jinx.
What do you want?
Aurelia's gonna go over and slowly put the bag on the table and then sit down.
Okay, should I know what this is?
A friend, someone named Dave says you would know what it is, or not, or whatever he was.
D-A-N, Dane. But
Dane,
he,
thank you. I have PhatDog on the mind. Dane.
yeah, you
Dane.
he does
Dane.
pause.
I'm gonna rename Dane to Dave if this screws us over.
Oh, Dane sent you, did he? Oh, wonderful. Oh, I'm assuming that little satchel there is the goods that he's got for me.
Yes.
Let me guess. He did not give you pay
No, he did
for
not.
me. Hmm. Of course he didn't.
He reaches to his side and he pulls out a small coin purse.
Here is the payment that is generally expected from his mules. I trust it's all there. You want to give it to me, and I will give you the coin.
Yeah. You never said how much it was. We're just at this point. I just want to get rid of it because I know what's in it. So I
Be sweet.
give
As
him
you
the
hand it
bag.
over-
Yeah, I hand over the
Yeah,
bag.
Well,
He
my
has it.
question is, how much money is he giving us?
You don't know yet. He hasn't provided the money until.
Because what I want, because I was gonna say, because if he was gonna tell us, I want to haggle.
He hasn't given you enough. He wants to see the goods first. And as he hands the bag over, he opens it up and he quickly pushes the process lever side aside. He knows what he's looking for.
Mm.
He sees it, ties up in the bag. Point.
Right.
50 gold, no more, no less.
Whoa, hold up. We're not done here.
Why not?
You need to laugh.
Why do you need to laugh?
Hey, shut up!
I have never seen a laughing dragon. I want to see a laughing dragon. We came all this way, damn
But I
it.
have under a dragon to give him a tick. I'm not.
That is some
What?
major droppage on my end, Royce. I'm
Yeah,
sorry about that.
I didn't hear a word of that. Say again.
He essentially said, and I advise you go out into the wild and find yourself a red dragon and give him a right proper tickle with a feather. I'm not laughing.
Give me
Look. Let me just break something down for you. Either you laugh and she gets what she wants, or
We all
we're
get
all
a
gonna
headache.
be on fire.
That almost sounded like a threat, and I think you should rephrase
Make
that
an
immediately.
Intimidation roll.
No.
Why would you word it in that manner?
Make an intimidation roll with how you worded that.
An
Oh,
intimidation.
Here I was just going to turn to teach him, like, just make him laugh. I've seen you do it.
no, I'm not casting the laugh spell on him, damn
Is that
it.
intimidation?
I actually went and
Yeah.
checked if I had that prepared, and I still do, but I'm not doing it.
All right, we're gonna see how all this goes. Either I'm gonna get my ass kicked, or
He's going to start laughing at the absurdity of it. And there we go.
He looks at you, cracks a smile.
That's cute.
And he quickly throws a kick out at you.
can I move with acrobatics?
Oh no, he's making an attack roll.
No.
So your AC will determine that.
19. I'm pretty sure that hits.
Oh well. Yep.
You take two bludgeoning damage. It connects you square in the chest.
I don't take kindly to threats.
Uncle kind of bent over, just wasn't a threat, just make an observation. Oh.
He leans down to you and says very lowly in your ear,
I would advise not threatening a member of the myriad next time, friend, lest a dagger be found in the place of my boot.
that he
We
swats
will.
the coin forward.
I will sure to keep remind my colleagues about that. My apologies.
Yeah, no, Jinx, she's not happy.
Of course she's not.
And
happy.
he's not either, but
She's
he's
never
gotten
happy.
his product. He's given you the coin.
Now lead me to my drink. I've got what I want. You've got your payment. Don't bother me.
Alright. So I'm gonna try and very carefully shuffle Jinx away while we deliberate about that new word that we just learned about.
Shuffle away as in leave the tavern, or stay in the tavern but move away from the Dragonborn.
At the very minimum, move away from the Dragonborn. We can stay in the tavern, but I
Yeah,
want to
there's
be a
plenty of
good
booths.
distance away.
Yeah, there's plenty of booths and seats. The room itself is a good, like, 15, 20 feet in...
Hold up. So, hold up. Jinx has one last thing before we pull off.
Oh,
She's
damn
gonna
it.
try and make. No.
As a-
She's
As a
gonna
parting comment,
Yeah, she's gonna try and make him laugh.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, just.
if you are you using a spell, or are you actually going to try and make a joke?
I'm actually gonna try. Give me just a second.
Oh no.
All right, you got
Try what?
TikTok.
All right. Give me just a second.
This is where we all die.
10, 15 seconds.
We're all gonna get acid breath to the face. Or whatever the
Give me a
hell
second.
Black Dragon breathes.
All right. Hold up. I got one.
Okay, you can't repeatedly
My bad.
saying hold up.
5 seconds.
All right. Yeah. So Jinx goes, hold up. One last thing before we go.
Damn it.
She walks up to him. She looks him dead in the eye, and she goes, "How many orcs does it take to open a door?"
But
If you'll get your word from me, I don't know, little one. How many does it take?
7. One to use his head, and the other's to slam him into the door.
Make a, I guess for a joke, make a theatrics roll?
What the fuck
performance?
would it- What even would that be? Performance?
No, performance, not theatrics, performance.
Okay, what is this 3.5 shit I'm hearing right now? Not funny.
I'm using a fucking luck die.
Are you kidding me?
No, this is happening. This is happening.
Well, to be fair,
This is a
to
high
make him
DC.
laugh with that type of a joke, you would have to be pretty damn lucky.
Yeah, and he's not feeling very jovial, so this is a high DC. Just keep
You
Fuck.
got to be shitting me.
it. You want to use another luck dice?
Yes. Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. There we go. I'll take it.
You staying with that?
I'm staying with that.
He looks at you very dryly, leans forward, and goes,
Ha, ha, ha. Now leave me alone.
Victory!
that was a very hollow, very faked laugh, but a laugh nonetheless for
Jinx
Jinx.
will take it. She turns to Ankel and she goes, I got him to laugh. He's just,
Yeah, and I got hit. What do you expect?
If the
Ugh.
Dragonborn looks over at Aurelia, he'll see Aurelia with one hand on her face, but a dumbass grin from ear to ear on just like why this whole scenario is just ridiculous.
Yeah, Uncle looks at Jinx for her comment and says, "Yeah, and I got hit. Congratulations."
yeah, you weren't that funny.
You know
Lula's
what?
currently sitting down with a very look of like a very incredulous look, and it's further down on her. These are the people she has. Yeah, she said, she's like, my goodness, you are the people I've agreed to work alongside. You certainly have an interesting approach to social situations.
Yes, but at
Trust me,
least,
I
but at
wasn't
least you'll be
expecting to
safe.
get kicked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're pro-
Ankel's not good at making friends.
You know what?
Ooh.
Who approaches behind with a number of tankards, and he sets them down on the table. Well, Jinx, you didn't blow anybody up. Muscle teacher is proud of you.
Hey, thank you.
Uh,
And then Jinx goes to Ankel and it's go, it's okay, buddy. It's just because you're short. I like you though.
I will kill you.
I love you too.
Are we
Uncle sits
sufficiently-
down and just moves his hat over his face so none of the group can see him as he's just fuming.
Are we sufficiently away from Black Dragon person?
Oh yeah, like you're clear across the other side. This is a sizable room, and there's a number of people. There's a dim of conversation and eating. So
All right.
he's not going to hear you. You're out of his area of influence.
All right. So Aurelia is going to
Totally worth
immediately
keylock
start.
points.
Aurelia is going to immediately start deliberating with the only thing that she has at the moment for information. We showed up. Person wants to start dabbling in a very potent and very available to some degree magical power source. So she very quietly goes, some of it was not, yeah, most of it was, the thing we sold was refined. Most of it. And then
I'm
she's
guessing.
smiling.
I'm assuming you're speaking to Luna, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Luna's eyes go wide a bit.
And then,
Oh,
yeah,
guts.
and then that's why I wanted to get rid of it right away. What was the name? Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. What's her reaction to like the some of it being the bad exploded stuff?
As I said, her eyes go wide a bit. Not like, oh god, we're all gonna die, but like an, oh god, we just broke the law. Look.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I am not licensed enough to carry that kind of product. That is an industrial
Well-
process.
Well, thankfully, he didn't tell us that's what it was, so it is their problem if that comes up. Speaking
I
of,
mean,
but
hey.
yeah, what was the name? What was the name of the like gang or whatever he said when he kicked Ankel?
The menagerie.
Menagerie.
Uncle kind of just gives a slight glare, not enough for the Dragonborn to see, but just annoyed of being kicked. It's like, you know, we got
We're-
paid, so who knows what could happen if a guard were to find out what was in that bag.
Mm-hmm.
Darka, do you want to make a history check for the menagerie, or since you asked what the name of it?
Sure.
Okay. I just didn't want to assume yay or nay on that.
Yeah, because it's not familiar to me, but it might be familiar to Aurelia. Holy shit.
Excuse me.
Damn.
What is it
Aurelia
with
really
these
knows what menagerie
22s?
is.
We're
Well,
getting we're either rolling ones or we're rolling a total of 22. What is going on today?
Combat hasn't even started yet. Well, it's limited in your learning since you haven't worked in the seedy underbelly of the underworld, but the menagerie is essentially a conglomerate of crime lords, crime bosses. It is essentially the seedy underbelly of Idelas, the continent itself.
Great. These guys are dealing in a magic power source. This sounds like the first immediate subject to investigate into to find stolen magic items. If they don't have them, we could probably use them to find the frickin' people trying to summon demons.
The stolen magic item issue has been resolved. That was with Bexley, and you were trying to recover Luna's stock. Unfortunately, most of it was used. That's why you're on this quest to help her with the venture that she's contractually assigned you guys to.
Okay, so we're...
Sorry if
Wait, you said the menagerie was a thing of like criminals and stuff?
Yeah, the menagerie is a portion of the criminal underworld of Idelas.
Then I'm trying to like, would Ankel know about that?
Yes. However, given the context of Darkon's 22, it's just it's pretty much gonna be like a group shared bit of information.
Well, no, I mean like just like as like himself. I don't know if he would. I mean, he had a life of crime, but I don't fully know.
Roll for it.
How far?
Ankel, do a history check, or yeah, just like recalling back to Ankel's own history.
You said a history check?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what other roll to make for personal history insight.
I would just do a history check and then adjust the DC accordingly.
12. You have dabbled in crime where necessary, both severe and non-severe. The menagerie itself, you do recall being contracted to make a few thefts here and there, along with one or two more severe and heavy contracts. But you have never really faced anyone beyond a simple face. So
okay, so I have worked for the menagerie before.
Yeah, but you've never met anyone in control. You've just met a face man who said, "Here's the thing, get this done, and you'll get paid."
All right. Uncle kind of just... Uncle's just like, oh, great. So we're dealing with that. Fantastic.
Wait, hold up. What are they called?
I'm terrified to say it again because she's going to scream it.
No, just... What are they called?
Okay, I'm still so scared to say this out loud. The menagerie.
You can whisper. Like, this isn't a dead silent area. A whisper isn't likely going to be heard.
Frickin', I'm going to message menagerie into her brain and just be like, there's something about this I don't like.
Okay.
So she hears that and she goes, wait, so they run a zoo?
No. It's not a zoo. It's it's kind of like a pyramid scheme, if you really think of it like that.
Luna chips in.
Did we just break the law with a very dangerous entity?
No.
Yes, probably, maybe. Congratulations, you're now criminal in some way, shape, or form.
Not even close. Yeah, not even close. Hilarious, but not even close. We sold legitimate goods, and we got legitimate payment. And some asshole decided to put weird stuff with it, and we are going. I want to blow them up. Aurelia's mad. If you haven't picked up on this.
Yeah, no. Uncle looks at Aurelia and says, "You know, we got the payment, so it wouldn't hurt to
thank you so much.
Make a guard go in the right direction."
Yes, but how do we do that without putting ourselves into a bit of a problematic situation?
Trust me. In my kind of work, you figure out some information.
Well, the first thing that we kind of really need to debate about is what does Luna want to do specifically? Because we're fine. We've cleaned our hands of this mess, and we can just leave it as is.
And even Foo's vouching for enough plausible deniability. We haven't technically broken the law with any black and white. We can plausibly deny this. I say we don't kick the beehive.
Yeah, let's work on your your comedic routine, Uncle. You need some more. I have some jokes if you want them.
You know,
Luna clears your throat. Why don't we get back on track and let's focus on our contract together? Yes, let's get away from this. You know what? Please, I don't want to go to jail.
Yep. Okay.
Right.
Yep. We'll just go back on the contract, and then Aurelia, in a section of her spell book, she's gonna write down like the menagerie and a whole bunch of like mean, horrible scribbles next to them as just a reminder of blow these people up later.
Uncle at Jinx's comment says, you know, you're the kind of person that the menagerie would send someone like me to take out.
Oh, like dinner?
Who is that
No.
in reference to?
To me, Jinx.
Jinx,
Okay,
her
okay.
comment about me becoming funny or whatever.
Well, okay, so, all right, here, I got a joke for you. Okay, so, why don't halflings plan for the future?
You know what? You make me wish you make me wish I went back to working for them. Jesus.
Because they're a little short-sighted.
Let us continue, please.
Yes.
This is
So what are
fun
we
now.
actually doing?
All right. Well, Luna has kind of been, as opposed to, her leading you all, she's kind of been along for the ride for this little portion because she didn't expect to be roped into this, totally legal, not legal situation. With that, she does.
Well,
clear
that's
your
our
throat.
problem, not hers.
Well, it kind of is her problem since she's technically associated with you in her own mind. But
She's now an associate of ours that our actions kind of,
you get the feeling she doesn't really, she's never really experienced, an exposure to illegal activity. So she is quickly assuming the worst and getting very worried about it.
Yep.
Terribly so, but it is, it is weighing on her.
Yeah, Uncle looks over and trying his best to, ease the nerves of something before you get off. It's like, it's gonna be fine. I used to be a criminal, or still am,
Stop.
but not as bad as I used to be.
What is
Everything
that?
will be fine.
You're not helping.
Okay, I'm gonna assume you're saying that quietly.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So
yeah,
that
no,
is some
I'm not
Jinx
like
level.
saying it
Okay.
like super out loud for everyone to hear. It's just a conversation for us.
In a very real way, Fu probably would have taken the reins of this monstrosity of a conversation right now, and it would have just been, if anything actually happens, this was our decision that we did. We're going to take responsibility for it. You had no part in this. It would be our problem. Stop caring about it. It's us.
Yeah, and Jinx goes,
Fair
all right,
enough.
Luna, we have nothing to fear from a bunch of zookeepers.
Yes, anyway.
If anything, I'll
I'm going
take
to
the
have to
fall. If
figure
anything,
out
I'll take
how
the
the hell
fall for it.
menagerie equals zoo. One moment, please.
I'm
I
sorry,
actually
what?
don't get that one.
I will say it's like, if anyone ends up having to take the fall for it, I will. I haven't been thrown in prison in here yet, so.
Collection of whatever. Oh, that's actually just what it means. Okay.
With that, Luna gets up from the booth that you all have been sitting at and says,
Well, let us continue on the present matter at hand, other business aside. I believe we do have to pay a visit to an old acquaintance of mine. We're going to make a stop by the One's Want. If you would come with me, he's well, long story short, he was my teacher, so he might have some other goods you may be interested in to pay with actual gold.
and with that, she turns and leaves, giving a gesture for you all to follow.
As we're walking out, Jinx goes, how do you get a one-armed goblin out of a tree?
No,
Jinx, stop it.
no, Uncle just walks over, punches her in the side, and just continues walking.
No, I want to hear the joke.
Close!
Joke time
but
later, work time now.
You wave to him.
Jinx, muscle teacher, is telling you to joke less, work more.
I mean, you're not wrong, but, like, see, okay.
Jinx,
Where the
What?
hell are you getting
Walk and
this
talk,
from?
walk and talk.
I'm walking, but Aurelia is magic teacher, you're muscle teacher, and now I'm joke teacher to Uncle.
Fuck.
Like,
No.
You're the salt. You're the salt.
Leaf just believe
You're the freaking salt in the desert.
No.
Anyway, with that leaving,
You're
was there
salt of the
anything
earth.
that anyone wished to do specifically? Otherwise, Luna is essentially going to be leading you all to the Wands Want.
Okay.
Carson, was there anything Ankel wanted to do?
I was gonna say before leaving, I was just gonna shoot another glance at the Dragonborn and just make sure he wasn't keeping his eye on us as we left.
He most certainly
make a
was.
perception check.
He most certainly was at this point.
Make a perception check.
Fucking Lief's just like, Jinx.
Let me make sure what my perception
Fight
6.
back. Gotta go.
You glance through the crowd, and he's still resting his head in his hand. His eye is locked right on you.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic!
And you see just a faint sneer before you leave.
Well, he did kick you.
Yeah, he did. He did kick me, so he's not very fond of me.
No, I mean this is like, ha, I kicked that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, as you venture through the rest of the Silver District, you're, you know, the decor is fairly nice. You know, there's definitely more of a clean vibe about this place. Aurelia does, you know, point out a few things, and she does seem to have a bit of knowledge of this place, more so than just a simple passing, you know, a passing tourist compared to the rest of you. And eventually, you all do come to a rather nice-looking storefront. It's very smooth, no visible mortar lines, just smooth stonework with a placard reading "The Wand's Want" with a waving wand underlining the underside. There's large French door-style windows opening, giving view inside, and it looks very, very upbeat and very, very upper class. And with that, Luna does walk inside. So anyone else want to follow her, or do you want to do anything else?
Uncle will follow, just putting his hands in his trench coat because knowing him, he's gonna want to steal something. So it's better he just not.
He's got sticky fingers.
He does. It's not his fault.
I'm assuming everyone else follows her in. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Inside.
I mean, Jinx doesn't have a choice. She's on Lief's back, so.
Jinx
Yeah.
wants to tell more jokes.
Food's
No.
walking in behind everyone, just making sure that nothing goes awry. And walking inside, there is a faint energy to the air, very similar to when you initially walked into those who went into Luna's store. A faint energy in the air, similar to Luna's enchanting store. It's that feeling of just general faint magic carrying on the air itself. The location itself, it's a large rectangular room. There's various shelves holding jarred goods, pieces of attire, look to be wands, and various display cases. There's even some armor mannequins or some display mannequins holding look to be cloaks, armor, other forms of attire. And it looks to be odds and ends, but the decor itself is very nice. It's got very nice carpeting. There's a very faint lighting that is magically enhanced to give a good view of everything. So this definitely is very blatantly an enchanting store of some kind. And Luna, still walking, looks to the rest of you and says, hold on, I'll be right back. And she walks straight to the back of the room and through a pair of curtains that seem to lead it up to a pair of stairs. And you see her departing for a few moments.
Uncle shrugs and just looks around the store.
Jinx goes, 1 gold, she comes down here in a different hat and says she's...
Brief pause and things. Deanna needs to pause and things real quick. A certain matter has happened with a cat. I will be right back.
Oh, that sounds like his internet died. That sounds like the cat stepped on the fucking.
Yeah.
There's a certain issue with the cat. Oh no.
Turn the fucking computer off. That's happened to me so many times. That's why I have that thing blocking the way where the plugins are, because the cat has literally turned.
I will be honest. I really just want to send a guard after that guy because I got kicked. Fuck him. I don't care anymore. He's a dick.
So a generous gnome, a stray elf, and a sober dwarf and an owlbear are walking down a road and they see a pile of treasure. Who gets it? The owlbear. It's the only one that actually exists. Come on, people.
Oh my god.
You're the salt of the earth, Tony.
Where are you getting these?
You probably looked up like fucking...
What did you put into Google to find these? These are great.
Okay, again, I'm very sorry about that. I had a cat climbing on top
Good, you missed the most horrible owlbear joke I've ever heard.
Wait, no, I got something for this.
Okay, DM is back. Again, apologies. That was a cat-related issue that needed to be resolved promptly. Luckily, no cats were harmed in that brief instance.
That we know of.
We were just telling racist D&D jokes.
God damn it.
That's great. Anyway, back to the situation at hand. All right. So Luna departed through a passage in the back of the store, leaving you all briefly as she walked up a pair of stairs. You can hear briefly, leaving you briefly to explore the store in question. You got the feeling you got a few moments to peruse. Was there anything else anybody wanted to do for a split second?
Nah, I'm just looking around.
All right. Fu was keeping a very close eye on Jinx and even Ankel.
I was gonna say, like, Ankel's kind of the one you want to keep an eye on. Jinx is trying to help Ankel with this comedic.
I'm the one with keep an eye on you with look, I had sticky fingers Uncle. A couple of times.
Uncle, I'm watching you.
Lief can't babysit everyone, okay?
Uncle throws his hands up. It's not like I got thrown in jail for stealing things.
It's because you were very funny. You could have joked your way out of there.
You all hear the sounds of footsteps coming back down a pair of stairs, more so than previously. There's another person that seems to be joining, and you see Luna depart from those obscuring curtains, and behind her, a person also follows her. Immediate glance, looks to be a tiefling, dressed in rather splendid garb, wizard robes of the richest purple drape his attire. He's got a very pleased look on him. The left arm of his robe is completely removed, and he has very fine jewelry, very nice golden necklaces, rings adorn his finger. His skin is a brilliant red, and he has a pair of horns curling back from his scalp. Left horn in question looks to have been snapped off to some degree, and his eyes glow a brilliant white with no visible pupils. As he walks through, he's like, these are the friends that you told me about. Luna, my goodness, you've got quite the company. What might you be venturing into, my friend? Luna just gives a smile, and she has a small package in her hands.
Did you say
it's nothing.
Mustache?
No.
Okay, for some reason, just the voice made me picture him with a big old mustache.
Oh my
God. And also in a leotard and a mushroom hat. I know.
Oh my God!
You're not trying to kill Jinx hard enough.
Please don't.
Sorry.
Luna stands before you all as the gentleman comes, and he stands a little bit behind her, leaning on a nearby counter. Luna gestures to the gentleman. Group, this is my old mentor. His name is Gilliam Jamas. Please, Luna, call me Jamas. No need for formalities like that. And he gives kind of a fantastical flourish as he says that, as if to further accentuate his name.
Well, aren't you a bucket load of sunshine?
Oh, I'm a bucket load and a half, my tiny little friend. So, what can I do for friends of my budding pupil Luna?
Uncle's eye twitches at the tiny thing. It's like, I'm not that small.
Jinx goes, I like him.
And I like you all. So Luna has gotten this small package from me. Some water breathing potions. What might I ask? Are you all going to be doing in the water, huh?
Walking on it mostly.
Luna seems to be very eager to depart with this. Yes. Jamas, it has been very, very nice to meet you, but we do have some business we do need to attend to. Jamas simply looks at her. My love, our company parted too soon. I look forward to you or your friends giving me some company and possibly some business, yes? Luna simply walks out of the store, very embarrassed.
Oh.
I don't get it.
Jamas is simply looking at you while his tail lightly swaying behind him as he has a smile on his face.
Uncle tips his hat, begrudgingly, just like, yeah, good day, and just walks out.
Jinx just sort of looks back and forth because I don't get it. Can someone explain that to me?
I'll let your friends explain that to you, little one. In the meantime, I suggest you follow Luna. She seems to have some work for you.
Okay, Uncle, you follow them. They're going to explain it to you. What were you talking about? You said little one, so she assumed you were talking to Uncle.
Fu promptly begins to shepherd both you and Ankel out.
Well, like
Again, I'm still on Lief.
yeah, Jinx on Leaf's back.
Oh, he's still shepherding. He's still like guiding Lief.
Oh my god.
Uncle
Go,
just threw gritted teeth. I'm not that small.
It'd be hilarious if Fu just like smacks like Leaf on the flank. It's like go, just fucking go.
Hi-ho, Silver, away!
Anyway, as you get back outside of the shop, you see Luna just taking a deep breath as she looks at the rest of you. I do apologize. My old mentor can be a little crass.
It seems like you guys have a bit of a past.
It seems like you should not be making statements that you do not know the history behind.
She's like, you need to shut your mouth.
She has a very dagger-oriented stare right at you, Uncle.
Uncle just kind of shrugs. He doesn't give a fuck right now. It's like, Uncle, here's the thing. Okay, so Uncle's had several comments made towards him where he's just, he's just done. It's like, you know what? I call him as I see him. You don't like it, just deal with it. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Goes, well, of course they have a past. It's teacher and student. They probably stayed up late at night learning from one another.
Anyway, I think it is time we go to the harbor district, please.
Uncle just kind of flashes a smirk at Jinx and just as they walk away.
Because anyone else, you would think they were being crass. That she's being like, no, of course, the teacher and student. I mean, sometimes teacher really kind of pound the knowledge into the student.
Luna's shoulders are getting more and more tense as you're speaking, and eventually Fu does lean down and kind of taps a finger over your lips, says, Jinx, how about this time you make your jokes with a little less volume? I don't think a client wants to be hearing these kind of jokes.
Who's joking? Hey, Uncle, are you joking?
Not at all, but I'm finding amusement out of this.
Just stop with the current line of commentary, please. Muscle teacher is asking you. Do not make muscle teacher command.
Got a little too British there. Anyway, with that,
Jinx just goes, I don't get it, but okay.
You'll understand when you're older.
Anyway, with that, Luna does guide you through the rest of the Silver District. Further along, all three districts do meet the lake. There are partitions to prevent crossover from the bronze to the gold, but there is a docking district with each district. So, as she brings you closer to the lake, the telltale smell of water upon the air, not sea salt, but there's still that smell of hydration upon the air. You do hear the cry of birds and the faint scent of mildew and watery, musty stench from stagnant water in various vessels and whatnot starts to come to your senses. Excuse me. Eventually, Luna does come up to a small building in question. It's located near a series of docks, and she talks to a gentleman at the kiosk. He's a young human, blonde hair, very round features. She exchanges briefly with him before acquiring a slip of paper and turns to the rest of the group. Okay, we've attained our means of transportation. We are going to be taking out to the center of the lake, and we are going to be going down into the lake.
Oh, that's a problem.
Why?
I have trouble going underwater.
Are you cursed?
I mean, I've been told I've been cursed, but, that was just people being mean normally. My dad's an asshole.
Well, unless you have a magical curse upon you, there should be no reason that you cannot go into the water. Do you have some sort of...
I literally have trouble. I tried to go on. It's like putting my face against glass. I don't.
She looks to the rest of the group. Does she have some kind of item that is causing this? I doubt that there's a curse on her. Is there a curse on her? There's probably a curse on her, isn't it?
I mean, Jinx holds up Jinx puts her
ring in it.
Jinx puts her right hand, which is the demon hand, to her lips, kind of thinking. When she says, "Is she cursed?" And she's like,
Jinx, your arm.
That was a ring, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a ring.
It is a ring.
Jinx forgot that the ring, like, she's just like, suddenly I can't go underwater anymore. I don't know why. Just one day it just started happening.
I can't imagine Lief going, like, being able to go underwater. That's
Jinx, I want you to. What hand does she have the ring on?
The non-demon one.
Fu taps Jinx taps you on the shoulder. Jinx, you know that little metal thing around your your finger on your right hand? Take it off. That's what's causing you to not be able to go into water.
Oh, wow, you're smart, muscle teacher.
I have a potion of water breathing, so I'm not worried about shit.
I'm glad
taps
that
the package that she had retrieved from the store. I actually have enough potions for all of us to attain water breathing, so surviving in water is not going to be an issue.
I'm just imagining how is Lief gonna be able to swim underwater? How does
Doggy paddle.
Like porcupine's fuck. Very carefully.
He's got more legs.
No, it's not not being like not that. I'm talking about physically with how he is built. How would he be able to swim underwater?
the same way deers do.
But do they swim underwater? Have you seen one swim underwater?
I've seen one swim
Not
through
under
water.
the water.
Through water, not underwater.
Same concept.
Well, I'm sure it's the same concept. Plus, you have human arms, so it's going to be even faster.
Plus, we'll just have you hold onto a rope and have.
So the answer is with great difficulty.
I have rope if need be.
Yeah, we'll have you hold onto the rope and have Fu pull you.
Yeah, with that, Luna, she leads you all along the docks. There's various boats of varying size. A good amount of them are fishing boats. There's definitely the smell of fish on the air, both pleasant and unpleasant from fresh and not so fresh catches. And you do hear the cry of various fishermen going about their business, shouting at cohorts and whatnot. And you eventually do come to a sizable sailboat, not very large, maybe like a 10-person boat. Not really fluent in boat lingo, but the boat in question has a gentleman currently sitting in the boat, very much asleep against the mast. Luna stands beside the boat. Well, would you all like to jump aboard?
I mean, we don't really have a, choice in the matter if we're going to continue on with what we're doing.
Well, I like to be kind.
And I don't feel like walking to it, so yeah.
Alright. Yeah, a shame that we don't have like a scroll of water breathing, because Aurelia could scribe that.
So as you all get onto the boat, it does sway from side to side, but not terribly so. It is fairly wide enough to allow a good amount of 3 people to sit from side to side on about the 3 or 4 seats that locate within the boat itself. So it's fairly roomy, and it doesn't seem like it's too dangerous to be tipping over.
Lief must be really awkward.
There is definitely an interesting situation of sitting down.
He has to stand. He can't really sit, so he's just standing there.
There is an openish area towards the back of the ship itself that Lief could sit down in, but yeah, the seats themselves are not tailored towards deertaur.
Well, he's probably more like laying down than sitting.
Yeah, so with that, Luna does poke the gentleman who's currently sleeping, and he wakes up with a start. Oh, what do you want? Go legend. Right, all right, go. Let's go and get this on the road. The immediate smell of poor hygiene and more stale ale wafts into the air as this unkempt fisherman goes about readying the boat itself as he begins untying it from the dock and opening up the sails. And the breeze itself eventually just steadily guides the boat off across the lake itself. And the lake is truly enormous. It's almost impossible to see the opposite side of the lake. If anyone's ever been to the Great Lakes, it's a lot like that. It seems almost like a small sea in and of itself if it wasn't known that it is actually a great lake. Takes a couple minutes. Trip is largely uneventful. You do see a few boats around near you, some fishing, others just simply sailing off for pleasure. The cry of water birds can be heard. Some darting into the water to catch a fish before soaring back into the sky. The sky has become a little more sunny. The faint clouds that had gathered are completely gone now as the warm rays shine down and give a pleasant warmth to the slight chill of the air. And about 5 or 10 or so minutes, you do eventually come to stop as Luna seems to know where to stop. Here is fine, please. And she begins to undo the packets that she had gotten from the enchanting store, and begins handing out these sizable red vials to each of you. These vials should allow you to breathe underwater as well as ensure your movement is not impeded.
Sweet.
So essentially, it's going to give you water breathing, and it's going to allow you to move your full movement underwater without the penalties normally encountered when you're trying to swim underwater, and don't have any special feats to counter that.
Before we go in the water, Jinx turns to Aurelia and goes, "Teacher, I just had a thought."
Uh-oh.
No.
No. Fu, this is for magic teacher, not bustle teacher. Wait, your turn. So she goes, "Teacher, so this ring makes it so I can walk on water, right?
Yes.
That means I can't go underwater. But say I take the ring off, go underwater, and then put the ring on whilst underwater. What happens?"
You should be rapidly floating to the surface. Kind of like a life vest.
Ooh.
Does water walking is attuned or no? I can't recall.
No, it's not attuned.
Okay.
Well, you can be attuned to an item but not be currently wearing it, I think.
No, but no. The only thing I'm attuned to is the Staff of Fire.
Okay, yeah, Staff of Fire. Got it.
Yeah, if I remember how water walking works, if you're underwater and then water walking is enabled on you, then you ascend 60 feet per round, so 10 feet a second until you're at the surface.
And I was.
You go up relatively fast.
Yeah, get the bends.
It's
and all
not
that, like
it's not instant, but it's pretty quick.
No, that's what I was thinking though. Like when he was explaining that, I was like, oh my god, what did you fucking shoot you up?
A Jinx-sized torpedo. With that, Luna begins to uncork the potion in question and kind of takes a breath. Okay, bottoms up, and she downs the potion in question, and immediately winces. Oh, that fishy aftertaste is certainly unpleasant.
Yep, here it is. Sorry. If you target a creature submerged in the liquid,
Damn it!
spell carries
You got to it before I did.
Yep. That's awesome.
Oh, that's been clarified, guys. So we're good on that.
Yep.
So I'm guessing, do all of you partake in the potion or no?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Luna.
Leaf kind of like he takes the potion, he opens it, kind of sniffs it, like he's kind of like.
Smells very fishy.
No, that's not. I'm pretty sure that's what it smells like.
Jinx just downs it. Doesn't even think of it.
It's more like a precautional, like, you know, making sure whatever the fuck she's giving us is actually like, you know.
Oh yeah, she drank it herself first, and aside from what apparently is an unpleasant taste, it didn't really.
But how do we not know she gave herself the actual potion, but the rest of them are fake? You know what I'm saying? Like.
Sure.
This is Lief we're talking about here.
Well, I mean, to be yeah.
Are you lifting and slamming your feet on the ground? The deer do that so hell often when they're like, I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm gonna whack the ground, that'll fix it.
I'm not saying he's like annoyed, because that's more like an annoyed action. He's just kind of like, you know, I would say probably like,
wary.
I'm sorry.
What kind of role would I be able to do?
Survival.
Would it be survival?
I would think so.
What do you? Well, hold on. What are you trying to do?
Just to make sure it's not like, you know.
Wouldn't that be investigation?
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
Your survival is like trying to do like nature survival stuff.
That was.
I mean, I'll say investigation. Don't quote me on that. because this is kind of in a gray area.
Investigation's a pretty safe thing to do for that.
Yeah, just roll investigation roll if you want to like sniff it and investigate it. Well, yeah, investigate it for anything fishy. Aside
You
from
have identified that the fish smell is trout.
again, aside from a very fish-themed smell, nothing seems to throw up any red flags that you normally encountered in the wild, like certain smells or the way that it would carry on your senses if you smelled something poisonous.
So
all right, so it was just more so like on his character being cautious.
It's
So-
not poisoned, Leaf. It's okay.
So upon hearing what Aurelia has to say about the water walking thing, Jinx turns to Luna and goes, Luna, how long do these potions last?
It should be good for an hour.
Okay, so I have an idea, and I think this one's actually a good one.
Okay.
So I have a thing that makes me fly to the surface. I also have rope. If we are running out of air, you guys hold on to my rope, I put the ring on, and we all fly to the surface.
Aurelia looks at you absolutely dumbfounded and like, oh, huh.
Congratulations, Jinx. You actually had a good thought there.
My head hurts.
Oh my god.
Actually, I'm not gonna have you to make a list to say.
You see like steam
Alright.
coming out of her ears.
Yeah, you have a pounding migraine for a few minutes.
Finally getting an actual good roll that means something. Like Lief, he looks at her and then he looks at the potion and then he like hesitantly downs the potion.
Okay. Yep. The potion has a very fishy taste, bitter as well. It's not pleasant. And it's very oily. It sticks to your tongue and your mouth and coats your throat as you swallow it down.
Fuck.
You feel a faint tingle in your chest and a slight like prickling at the side of your neck, and you don't feel very different. Just those slightly unpleasant effects as you imbibed the potion.
Well, Aurelia's turn. Just drinks it.
Same taste, same sensation.
Great.
She probably
Food's-
is like, well, if Lief thinks it's alright, then
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright, now.
Foo's downed it, and
so am I.
Jinx has been Jinx, and Jinx pretty much downed it initially. Uncle?
Carson?
Well,
Sorry,
he passed
I was
out.
muted for a second.
Oh, okay.
I thought he
No, I didn't realize. I forgot I was muted. No, Uncle just kind of looks at it and goes, "It's just like it's not booze, but whatever." And just drinks it.
Yeah, very fishy, thick and oily, not very pleasant. Kind of like taking fish oil. Actually, it is exactly like taking fish oil. And with that, Luna takes a breath as she stands at the side of the boat, and the man mounting the boat says, what are you doing?" And Luna says, "Oh well, I'm simply venturing into the lake, I guess, as adventurers do. Yeah, yes." And she looks back to the rest of you before promptly jumping off the side and slipping into the water.
Yeah. Well,
Jinx
everyone into
takes her ring off and jumps into the water.
everyone into the
Where are you
pool.
storing the ring?
In my pouch, I guess.
Okay.
Like I'm securing it. It's not going anywhere.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to know, like, because I don't know if Jinx was just going to hold on to it or put it in a pouch or a backpack or whatever.
No, I'm keeping that sucker secure.
Alright.
Oh.
Everyone into the
Both
pool.
dive in
jump
the water, and there's that telltale rush of cold, watery weight as the water splashes around you. And there's the initial instinctual urge of survival to hold your breath. And hold your breath. For those normally held by common sense, possibly.
Yeah, this is the part that sucks.
Yeah, so it's for those who may have struggled with it, it's kind of an issue of you hold your breath, hold your breath, hold your breath. Your lungs start to burn until it finally that initial gasp, causes you to breathe in, and you feel the water enter your lungs, and it's a weird feeling. You feel that weight in your chest because the water does actually fill your lungs, but there's not that horrible sensation of drowning as what is initially expected.
It
You
is
feel like
somehow
you're breathing air. It's just really thick and watery.
Very
Can we talk?
unpleasant.
Yeah, it's not that pleasant for those who aren't fish. And another matter, you find that the water, it doesn't impede you as you generally find it to be. It's not like moving through syrup, or there's not that considerable resistance. It yields to you much easier. You find yourself gliding through the water with much greater ease. And as you enter the water and slip a little deeper naturally, you do see a brilliant light glow nearby as Luna seems to have pulled some sort of bauble from a satchel on her side. And she gestures for you all to come towards her before she starts to slowly descend down the lake as that glowing item kind of gently pulses a very bright, warm light.
Alright, well, now that we're doing stuff, as we're descending, I'm going to wave Jinx over to me so that I can mage armor both of us, because I'm nervous.
Okay.
Jinx gives the thumbs up. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will say, given this, with the potion itself, it allows you to breathe and move through water normally, but speaking is an issue because no actual sound comes out. So just in future reference, if anything happens while you're in the state, verbal components of spells will not work.
Oh.
Oh, literally.
Can I mage? In that case, can I mage armor?
Does mage armor have a verbal component to it?
In that case, I would have done that before we jumped in.
Okay. I'll retcon that and say that Aurelia had the common sense to do so beforehand. All right. As you all venture deeper and deeper into the lake, the weight of the water isn't as considerable since your lungs are filled with water, so there's not that pressure difference, but there still is that sense of pressure pushing in on you bit by bit as you slip deeper and deeper into the dark, almost abyss-like bottom towards the lake. It's very deep, and you go deeper and deeper and deeper. Minutes pass by, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and it seems like you're just venturing in this endless watery void until eventually that glowing beacon in front of you, you start to see what look to be rocky outcroppings and basically rocky formations as what looks to be possibly the bottom of the lake or some form of geographic formation from the bottom of the lake comes into view. And you do see Luna. She seems to be looking down at that bauble in one of her hands very frequently as she moves, but she's moving with a very constant purpose. Was there anything anybody wanted to do during this before you continue forward?
Not really. She seems to know where to go, so I'm following her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're in a lake. What is there to do?
Well, I don't know if there's things that my players want to do, so I give them the option so I don't railroad too hard. So
I appreciate it.
As you not a problem. So as you continue further, several more minutes come before you see Luna pause in her descent and approach the now vertical face of this rocky outcropping before you, and what looks to be a passage, slipping forward into this rocky outfacing. And another detail that you notice as you've come across this rocky outcropping is you see this faint yellowish glow of raw natural lyrisite within the lake. And it's not very bright, it's a very dim glow, so you can see the crystals themselves, but very little with the surrounding area. And it's not dense, but it's a few faint glowing tips along this rocky outface as Luna ventures into this small underwater passage. I'm guessing all of you continue?
Yes.
All right. So you continue forward. The glow of Luna's light source provides a bit of a beacon as this passage begins to turn left and right, and the muted sounds of your swimming are kind of like this eerie, the only tone that you can really hear, since providing your own sound really is impossible due to the water in your lungs. But eventually Luna's passage brings her straight down another deep decline, and then it goes up again, and then you see this faint shimmer and this ripple on this what seems to be a membrane of sorts as it looks like Luna has breached the surface of the water in some place. And as you get closer, you eventually do breach the water. And the shift from water to land, from water to air, is a little jarring as you breathe out, the water leaves your lungs and air starts coming back in. So there's that brief survival instinct of coughing it out, but there's not that sense of drowning. It's just this weird switch from a liquid medium to an air-based medium of oxygen. With that,
it's like getting food stuck in your throat, but you can still breathe. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Oh god, that's actually really unpleasant. With that, you come into this dome-like formation that seems to have been like an underground cavern of sorts. And stretching forward, looked to be a very large, very manufactured tunnel. This isn't natural, that you can definitely tell, because the walls are smooth, a little bubbly in appearance, but very deliberately shaped. And Luna is still walking forward. The visage of a pair of two doors become visible in the distance. So anything that anyone wants to do as Luna comes to stand before this door?
No.
You can speak now. Verbal components to spells are once again capable.
No, I've already got my preparation.
All right. With that, the doors in question, getting closer to them, there is definitely kind of a sinister appearance to them. They're jet black, and what looks to be the effigy of a giant eye rested along the center. And taking this glowing bauble that Luna, has been holding, she raises it up and presses it into what would be the pupil of this eye, and it slips in almost naturally. You hear faint chunk and the grinding of stone as these doors slowly split open, and you come across a pair of stairs going upwards. Looking back to you all, Luna kind of has a smile on her face. Well, it seems that we've arrived. I believe this is where you wouldn't mind some of you going before me? I'm afraid I'm not that good when it comes to dealing with the possible dangers of ruins or a dungeon of sort.
Okay.
Fu nods and quickly begins heading forward. What? I'll take point. And with that, let's bring you.
Oh no! A black screen.
If you're now stuck in the abyssal plane, you are now the playthings of the Demogorgon.
Oh no! Not the Demogorgon.
Fuck.
All right.
No.
Why is this in the bottom of the lake?
Very good question.
It's dark in here.
Oh wait, forget
I don't know where I
Oh
am.
wow, we brought the cart with us.
Yeah, you managed to bring the cart all the way down to the bottom of the lake.
Damn,
How
Gary,
are we gonna
what
get
a
it back?
It's dark in here. I don't like it. Someone help me.
Whoa, Echo.
Carson got a voice modulator.
Yeah, I
but,
know what he did.
With that, Fu's going forward immediately. The stairs do begin to narrow out, and eventually gets to the point where, to move freely, there's going to be pretty much one person after another in a line of sort of formation. So, marching order.
Fu first.
Lief will go last.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, vampire, kill it!
Yeah, I was about to say, fuck vampire!
That's pretty racist towards Drow.
Dude, I've been making racist D&D jokes all night.
At least we know Tony is inclusive with who he's racist to.
Okay, so Lief is going last. Don't turn you around.
I don't know where Ankel wants to be.
I don't care as long as I can shoot something.
He should be between Fu's legs. He's short enough.
Yeah.
You know what?
No, that's
You-
literally what
Halfling has the ability
Yeah.
to walk through creatures that are bigger than them, so that
I
is
know.
an option.
I know.
He's just sensitive. It's a tiny subject.
What?
Anyway, so we have Fu first, Lief last. We have Luna following up Lief. Where is Ankel? Where is Aurelia? And where's Jinx?
All y'all on the list.
Jinx
on the
turns
list.
to Uncle and she goes, "Come on now, Uncle. Don't get mad. That's beneath you."
March in order, guys.
I'll go behind Fu because I can easily hide behind him and if need be shoot something.
Fu, Ankel, Aurelia, Jinx, Lief.
Okay.
Leaf's in the back.
Luna, then Lief.
He's got it.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, the area that you come to, the surrounding area is somewhat similar to the passes that you came to leading up to those pair of doors, but it's a little more refined in a way. Like the passage initially, it was worked, but it was kind of bubbly, as in like the wall itself kind of gave and came back in kind of a wavy way, like whatever was used to carve it wasn't very smooth. It was like a point that kept traveling across it. These walls are much smoother, almost perfectly smooth, but they're the same dark bluish gray of the stone within this realm. And you've smelled, again, that unpleasant, faint, mildewy aroma of stagnant water and something else that's a rotten, fetid, nasty scent on the air.
It's not a fun time. This is not a fun time.
This passage, you have two passages that come off to your right. Which do you choose to go down?
Oh, well, I mean, Fu is the leader.
Yep.
So.
Where are we going, Fu?
All right. Let's go down this furthest passage up ahead.
Okay.
Let's go down.
That is the illuminate tool.
Ow, cat.
So, yeah, cats today.
I don't know where mine is.
As you all venture forward, we usually come down these passages. Very winding. That's
So I have a question.
Yes.
My hooded lantern wouldn't be any of use here, right?
Your hooded lantern might be the only way we might be able to see. So, what are you talking about?
Well, I didn't
How
know.
what is the illumination level of this place?
Yeah, I forgot. There is dim light along the walls. There seems to be these faint orbs of illumination that I should have detailed.
Well, your hooded lantern would be good if we need absolute certainty what we're looking at. But other than that,
this is simply obscured because I don't want to show you guys the entire layout of this place.
No, what I was gonna say was, does it work where we are? That's what I was trying to say.
It's natural flame, so there's no artificial snuffing of fire in this area.
Okay.
Why would it not work? This current corridor.
Dungeons and Dragons is fucking weird like that.
We are not currently submerged, and it runs off of oil. It'll be fine.
Fair enough.
As you continue this passage, it remains fairly nondescript. You keep smelling that unpleasant odor upon the air, and the faint echoes of your footfalls as you venture further.
Something's gonna kill us. Something's going to attack us, and I'm going to hate it.
Well, naturally, it's a dungeon, and Dungeons and Dragons. Things are going to want to kill you. You get to this point, so there's nothing else that anyone wants to do. No lookouts. No.
What?
Y'all just.
Of course, we're looking out. We're dungeon crawling right now.
Okay.
I mean, I was gonna say, if anyone needs me to like scout ahead with like stealth.
I currently have not seen anything that requires me to think about doing an active roll, so Aurelia's obviously using her passive perception to look around, as I would assume everyone else.
Again, I'm just wanting to make sure that if there's anything that y'all want to do, like Carson said, move ahead and scout.
Like I can go ahead and like scout and then come back and be like, hey, so this is what's happening.
Yeah, we got food's point, man. Let's just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. At the moment, it seems to be just a straight path.
Despite him being our fucking barbarian, very rarely is he actually on point.
Well, now the meat shield's out in front. All right. That as you get to this point,
I wouldn't.
What?
I'll talk about it after.
No. That's not. I'm just saying is that he's normally not the first one into the fray. It's normally like one of the squishies. It's a fucking trend. I'm not
squishy. I took out like fucking multiple enemies.
Guys, this is a
you're not
conversation
This
for
is-
later.
This
Guys,
yeah.
this is for brevity. Let's move this to after the session. D&D now. Okay? Okay. So as you get to the midpoint of this hallway, you hear a faint clunk as Fu's left foot sinks into a floor panel that was not seen.
Run.
You would indeed. However, let's see. Aurelia's just out of it. So, Fu and Ankel, I need you all to make a dexterity check.
God
So,
damn it.
Ankel, I need you to make a dexterity check. I'm Fu.
Yep. It is my dexterity +5. Okay.
Yep. And Fu's is +2.
To see.
God damn it.
Okay. Well, Fu, with his natural barbarian wit, manages to catch the sound of sliding metal. Unfortunately, just a smidge ahead of Ankel, as these series of metallic rods jut out from the walls and quickly sink in along the area between Fu and Ankel. Fu manages to avoid a good amount, but still manages to get pricked. Ankel gets a spear right in the arm, and right in his right arm, and right in his right leg.
Ooh.
God damn it.
Yeah, so you take. All right, Fu takes 3 damage, piercing damage, and you take 7 piercing damage from the javelin trap that just speared into your body.
Well, I mean, hey, I got that bludgeoning damage, and now I got this. Let's see if I can die.
There you go. So you want me to update your health, or are you going to do that for yourself?
I'm doing it.
All right.
We're doing fantastic, guys.
You were at 28 and you took 7 damage. You should be.
No, but I also had that bludgeoning damage from earlier.
Oh, that's right. Duh.
Good work,
GM is great at tracking their own. Fu looks back. Hey, Uncle, you doing okay?
No.
You'll be fine, little buddy. So with that, your venture brings you forward still, and you're met with another fork. Off to your left up ahead, and off to your right, immediately closer, there are 2 passages. Choice on which to go forward.
Uncle, do you want to pick this one?
Very cautiously.
What? Did some...
I said, do you want to pick this one?
I think maybe you should go inside one of these rooms and do a bit of reconning, so we know what we're getting ourselves into.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, and the guy that just got stabbed. Ugh.
I mean, if you'd gone ahead and scouted, maybe that wouldn't have happened. Just saying, the sneaky guy maybe should be sneaky.
All right, I'll go. I'll go on ahead. Do I roll stealth or?
If you want to stealth, you can. Because presently
think-
you're all just going forward at a normal pace.
Yeah,
Alert pace.
I'll stealth just because I want to be safe. And I don't know what's going to attack me or hurt me.
Only time will tell. You blend into the shadows, then they accept you like the arms of a long-lost lover. You vanish from sight as you venture forward. Where are you going?
I'm gonna start going towards this way.
That way? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm there. And I'm just going to assume you're looking into this room in question.
Yeah.
You come to a very large room, and there's a rather disturbing sight. There's a massive pile of gold right in the middle of this room. And to your immediate left, there's 2 placards in a language that you cannot immediately understand. And along the walls of this room are skeletons. 2 seem to be chained up to a wall. 1 is slumping against it, all seemingly very dead.
I want to roll a perception for any kind of immediate traps.
Okay, that's going to be an investigation.
Oh, okay, investigation. That's fine. I'm not very good at investigation, but you know what? Let's just try. Nope.
You do not feel that there are any traps immediately in front of you. The room seems fine. There's a lot of gold, and some skeletons, and some words that you don't understand.
Oh god.
Words never hurt anybody.
Words never. Wait, okay. Just one question. What Can you tell me what language it's in?
It's a language you don't understand.
Okay, I was just making sure because of the languages that I currently know. I wanted to make sure.
Yep, I know I do see the languages that you look over. Let me just double check. Actually, read out the language that you do know, but I'm fairly certain you don't know.
I know halfling, gnomish, common, and undercommon.
Yeah, you do not know any of those languages. None of those languages match what these words are saying.
Okay. All right, now I'm just gonna I'm gonna go ahead and against Uncle's kleptomania sticky fingers, walk back to the group and tell them what I found.
All right.
So I'm just gonna be like, I found a big room with a lot of gold, like a lot of it, and words.
With any drips?
I couldn't find any.
Are there any mimics?
I don't know.
Well, there's words. Teacher's good with words. Let's go look at the words.
Well, I'm sure that there's something that in there. I'm sure that all of us can take it. Yes, that is how adventurers do this, right?
Well, there's a bit more to it, but you know.
All right, let's go look at the words.
You just stay back and let us handle anything that may come at us.
Well, I would like to help, but if you're going to charge into battle, I will not stop you.
All right.
All right. Okay. So I'm assuming everyone jumps into the room. All right. Place yourselves in the marching order. Who in front? As you enter the room, is there anything that you want to do?
Yes. Uncle, please put yourself where you want to be first.
Yep. Y'all are controlling your own tokens now, guys.
Uncle's just really wanting to go for that gold.
All right. Well, I can assist you with you on that because I have tried to do this a lot of other times in the past, but then usually people poke things before I get a chance to do so.
Yeah. Also, Jinx is trying to read the words.
Aurelia is going to use Mage Hand and make the Mage Hand go and poke around and mess around in the gold pieces on the floor.
Okay. Jinx tries to read the language and cannot read, even for the strange way that she can read Infernal. This does not register.
Okay.
Lief, you want to change your token?
What? Oh, sorry. I thought you were moving everyone.
Nope. This is a situation
up until
where...
recently he was. He just decreed player control.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Uncle really wants to touch that gold.
Jinx is looking at the carvings, not really be able to tell what they say.
Right.
And Aurelia, almost called you Audrey.
Yeah, Aurelia's Mage Hand is currently flicking around in the gold pieces and anything happening.
All right, you just see it poke, poke, poke. The rustle of gold as it chills around. As the hand continues poking around and it gets to the center, it pokes and suddenly sinks down as you hear a very frustrated. Everyone roll for initiative as the pile of gold suddenly upheaves in a singular unionist movement before splitting off into 4 separate.
Oh shit! Why can't I have gotten?
Oh no! The gold pieces were mimics.
See, this is why, against Uncle's better judgment, I went and told everyone else.
And that is why Mage Hand saves lives.
And right now, there's supposed to be 4. No, not you, Luna.
It was Luna all along.
Another one.
Yeah, Luna
Holy
was
shit!
a mimic.
Luna's a pile. Wait! You're telling me that Luna's a pile of gold?
Yeah, she's a little pile of gold.
Have I never known this?
All right, everyone's rolled their. Okay,
Fuck, that piece of gold is dexterous. Once again, words I never thought I would say.
My one question is, so if something is a mimic, does it have like if it's a gold mimic, do they have like metallic, like feel to it, or is it like flesh?
A mimic when transformed is indistinguishable from the real thing, regardless.
Okay, when it's showing its true form.
When it's showing its true form, it's sticky.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got basically an adhesive body to it.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like still. I didn't know if it still had like the texture of coin, or if it was just like.
It could if it wanted to, but it wants the adhesiveness because it's really effective. Assuming that this stuff is actually mimics. I just took a blind guess.
All right, y'all are in battle. You got 4 piles of shrieking, snarling gold. You just hear as these gold flows in a very odd fluid motion, jingling, filling the air, and a sight that you didn't think that you'd likely see set before you as these 4 piles of gold move in their own form of unionist movement.
How do you hit this? Oh, hey, I know this song. There's a lot of YouTubers that use this song. Hey.
Yep.
I'm gonna fucking. Because I don't have an immediate like crowd control thing, but I'll pull back an arrow and try to hit it.
Are you attacking orange, blue, red, or purple?
Orange, because it's the closest one to me, and because of my experience with mimics in the past.
All right, let her rip.
All right, standard. Oh.
3.
Your arrow strikes true. Roll for damage.
All right, it's not a critical.
Sneak attack, because these things are aware because they were poked.
Yep. No sneak attack.
Damn. Arrow screams forward and smacks right into the center of the pile, which oddly seems direct. You just hear doesn't seem to have imparted as much impact as you think, though, as while damage was done, it doesn't seem like it reacted in a way that you quite expected.
Oh, son of a bitch.
All right. It's definitely shivering a bit. That did some damage. Is there anything else that you wanted to do? Move at all? Bonus action?
Fucking getting the fuck away.
Yeah.
Good call.
Right. Okay, is that the end of your turn?
By the way, Royce.
Yes.
I forgot to mention this. If you say no, I understand because I didn't verbally say it. But when we got down here, since we're no longer in water, Jinx wanted to put her ring on. Is that something?
I assume that was done by default.
Okay, all right. That's what I figured, but I didn't say anything, so I didn't want to.
Don't want to assume.
Likes allows the Jinx to walk. Why wouldn't she finger whenever possible?
Yeah.
No, I slipped into the mind of Jinx a little bit. It was dangerous, but I managed to survive. All right, so that's no bonus actions.
No, I've moved.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything else. I'm staying away from the mimics.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Now it is
No, my experience with them is done. I'm not dealing with that. Shit.
And he's gonna do what a barbarian does best. He's gonna go into a rage. Let's have this blood-curdling bellow that seems to even make the coin pile shake a bit.
So we have we have two casters, the client and the archer person over here. Fu, please cover us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's presenting himself as much as he can between you guys and the swarm, and he's going to certainly swing his great axe into the swarm. He is. That's a +7. Yes, very good. That hits. And great axe. 6. 12 plus 6 plus 1d4. 15 damage. So as he carves into the pile, you again hear that little shriek as these things, whatever they are, they definitely seem to be able to feel pain. And you're supposed to be looping. Wrong one. Whatever. So the axe itself doesn't seem to be imparting that much damage, but the flames do seem to even see some of these little metallic discs melt and turn to ash as he carves into them. So all right, this orange it's slumping a bit. It's not as liquid or mobile as the other 3 piles are. It is definitely not feeling too good. And Fu is essentially going to just make sure he's planted himself as much as he can between you guys and the swarms, and end his turn.
Doesn't he have 2 swings because he's level? No, were we level 5? We're past level 5,
yeah,
aren't
level 5. Doy. I'm an idiot.
Just swing again real quick.
Yeah, rogues are the only ones who don't get an extra attack.
Yep. Because rogues get sneak attack, and that's supposed to be their damage method.
Thanks for reminding me on that, Dargon.
Yep.
D12 plus 7.
I just ran, so don't worry about me.
And push. Another cleave into that. 9. 5. It's scuttling now. As you see, it's not so much a cohesive whole as just an individual ones starting to kind of move around and not really move in a unionist form any longer. Lief, your turn. Oh wait, no. I totally skipped the mimics. Blue's turn. It has an 18. Whoops.
I was about to say, wait a minute.
Pause. Hold on. I do want to kill you guys. I'm totally.
We'll just loop through the list real fast till it's on blue again.
Yeah.
I was testing you. You passed. Good job.
Aha.
Everyone.
Of course, I was gonna say, just because we're going through the list again. When you said Lief, you almost started to sound like the Mad Hatter.
Thank you.
Ooh.
All right.
I just found it funny.
Blue's gonna search forward and promptly try to do whatever a pile of coins is gonna try and do in an offensive sense from what you guys are currently seeing.
Pelting itself against him.
Yeah, so.
Tink, 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 tink.
All I just see is, ow, stop it, no, ow.
Dicks.
It's really annoying.
GM roll, come on. 1d20 plus that.
Wait a minute.
And
It
Flu's
doesn't
AC
hurt, but it definitely stings.
just clips over it. So you see all these coins like splash onto him and then stick to him.
Oh,
And as they begin to do whatever they're trying to do to him. And he takes... Why are you not on loop? Roll.
Loop better, damn it. Call.
Ooh. I think he's raging. Takes 7 whopping damage of slashing damage.
7 or after the halving?
After the halving. They almost rolled max damage on that, so that was why I was saying good thing he's raging.
Well, he's food.
Yep. You just see if he was like, oh, that stings.
It's definitely uncomfortable. Stop it.
They're biting me.
I think.
All right, Lief. Now it's your turn.
Just a swarm of coins with mouths. Oh God.
Yeah, you get a look at it and like the
That's
the
like
face side,
that is messed up.
yeah, the face side that has like the mark of of like standard on a coin is just opening up and stretching out like biting in this like little coin-sized piranhas.
Oh God, you want coin-sized piranhas? One moment.
Okay, Lief, your turn.
I'm going to put this in general, and then I'm going to open this on the tab
Even though I
on
don't
stream, and this is what I see when I see coins with mouths. Look at that thing. You poke the middle and it's like a snapjaw thing.
Oh, that's the same thing I found.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, that's actually really accurate.
There you
don't
go.
like it.
Thanks, I hate it.
Okay,
Thanks.
pause. What's Lief doing?
I'm... Fuck.
You got 40 feet of movement? 45? I know you have more movement than normal.
Well, if she doesn't want to move, she can use one of her like super magic arrows to just say fuck walls.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like you can move, you can attack, you can do warrior stuff.
I know. And, like, even though there's not a whole lot for me to do, it's still kind of like, okay, what
Yep. Oh God, that is a loud ass horn. I'm turning that down on my end a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. If it's a little loud on your end, just give it a quick shoot down.
Yeah, well I can adjust it on my end, so it's fine.
All right.
What are you looking for? The movement's under stats. 40 speed, see? There you go. Just shuffle your way around people. Just push them out of the way. Like, get the fuck out of the way, lady.
Shuffle?
Yeah. Push her out
You
of the
can
way.
pass through. When it comes to a friendly creature, you can pass through their space.
Yeah. unless it's very specific circumstances.
Yeah, I usually have it so that it's like it's difficult movement as you have to coordinate it. So it's, but you can do it, and then that makes it so that the halfling's ability to go through larger creatures isn't removed from the game. So he can just like, as if it's not, no one's there, walk through people.
Alright, well, here, he's gonna take out, remember, what kind of sword did
He has,
Because I didn't actually really choose a sword, I think we just kind of, like, take this one.
short sword, I think.
I know it was in the last session, though. Oh, no. Bad. I don't remember what kind of sword he has.
Just a short sword. You've already got it in your roll thing, so it's fine.
He's gonna take out his sword.
Yeah, roll to hit.
All right, so you're attacking blue, or I'm guessing?
Attacking blue, yeah.
All right.
The thing in front of me.
He's blue, da ba dee da ba die. That hits. You crit. Oh yeah.
Don't worry, Anthony. Aurelia goes first. Aurelia's moving.
Alright.
Tap. Crit, yes.
Ugh.
Short sword. Sword. There
It's
you
just a sword.
go. No.
Oh my god, look how the dice are
Yeah,
sitting on
that's
top of
weird.
each
And
other.
you have another.
Oh, the 4 is actually being propped up by the 5. Oh, that is so weird that it even supports that logic.
That is really weird.
Oh, that's
All right,
so cool.
14
So
damage.
I'm guessing because I got a crit. In this
Oh yeah, you got a crit. Roll for crit damage.
She did. She rolled 2 dice instead of 1.
All right, that was 14.
And then
All right.
you're still fighters, so swing again.
Yep.
Well, I was waiting for like descriptive, whatever.
Very similar to Ankel's arrow. Not arrow. Ankel's attack. Your blade sinks into the pile, and you hear this jarring clatter of metallic coins, and the damage is dealt, but again, it doesn't feel like it cleaved through as easily as it should have. You certainly dealt a good blow there, as you now can hear this fake.
It's pissed.
They are nettled.
You
Fucking
made it angry.
what?
They're angry little coins, and they're pissed.
Ouch.
That hits.
Nope.
That's right.
Yep.
I
Should be right.
So, is it 9 damage?
9. All right. Similar to previously, you come back in opposite from your initial swing and carve through it again, and you strike true. You dealt some damage, but again, not as much as you feel like you should have there. This pile, similar to orange, it seems to kind of be like not as cohesively moving, and it's just more sluggishly moving in slightly more random areas. It's still a unit, but it's kind of lagging.
well,
Did you want to move at all, or is that the end of your turn, or did you want to do
Yeah.
anything else?
I'm gonna.
Be careful when you move backwards, because it will provoke an opportunity.
If you want to stay there, that actually does a good bit of blocking for something I want to do later.
Alright, I'll just stay.
I appreciate it.
Right. All right.
Because right now, they are lined up way too perfectly for something.
I got it.
Alright.
All right. And with that, it is Luna's turn. I should probably give her token a name.
Probably a
Should
good
not
idea.
just
I thought
blank
it
it
did.
in blank. I must have actually removed it earlier. But with that, Luna's gonna squeeze. This should probably be enough movement. Yeah, plenty of movement. Gonna squeeze by here
I
and
am
kind of
currently streaming for money.
eke herself here, kind of poking around the corner,
What do you mean, what?
and she extends out a hand, and she lets out a
One moment.
searing firebolt. is.
You know, it's funny. Orange's thing kind of blends in with the coins.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a big fat king. That's the king coin. You kill that,
Yes.
all the coins die.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That would be.
We are
cool.
homunculus.
We are homunculus. Oh my god. God damn it. You would fucking. You fucking would.
Mm. That is not a hit.
It's okay. Not everyone can be as cool as what I'm about to do.
And that is definitely a hit. She aims for red. The first missile swirls into the air and misses, but the second missile finds its target in orange. I said red, I should have said orange.
Wait.
That does.
Okay, apologies. I was being called away for a second. Is she shooting magic missile?
No, she's using firebolt.
Okay.
Indeed. 5 points of damage. Bolt of energy sinks into the pile that Foo's been smashing into, and you just see this glob of gold just melt away and fizzle, almost in the same way as the few coins that have been burned by Foo's axe. And this pile promptly, if I can, there we go. Dead.
Oh, orange dead. Okay.
Yeah, and with that, actually, the coins themselves largely dissipate, as the remainder were consumed in fire.
Take that.
Okay,
homunculus.
I was about to say, please don't kill them all. I was about to kill them all.
Louis says, "Ha ha! I got it." Definitely a rush of combat which she's not used to. And with that, Aurelia.
Oh, she's moist.
It is time for the narrative cheater that is Aurelia to do massive combat damage.
Do it. Do it
Aurelia
now.
is going to move 13 feet over here. I will flavor this as, because combat happened simultaneously, Lief and Aurelia kind of moved together. Lief kind of blocking for Aurelia, and after Lief does her swings, Aurelia is going to do a very carefully placed lightning bolt.
Like just shy of hitting Lief. Very expertly timed. Very expertly
Oh, I did
placed.
13. I can go a little bit more over here. What do I need to do to get an angle that Lief is fine but hit all 3 of these guys?
That's your good enough angle to hit all three of the groups without hitting Lief.
Understood.
Because the line's intersecting with all 3 of the piles, but it's not intersecting Lief's area.
Good. Thunder lightning bolts. Please make your dexterity saving throws. Number to beat is 14.
Okay, let's see. 20.
The coins part around the lightning bolt.
Fuck you.
Nope. Wow. Okay.
Again,
Blue and red.
Again, you don't have to do them. You can do them one at a time and assign damage as you need it. That's why I roll the number first. Whatever's easier for you.
Hold on. I got it. No. Blue and red gets smacked by this thing headlong. And that is 29 damage. Jeez. You essentially just see the piles vaporize. They didn't sizzle and burn out like with the firebolts or Foo's axe. They vaporize in a slight shower of metallic sparks. And you just hear a faint and like this unionist screech as those 2 groups die. And let's see, that is purple made it with a 19, and so that's half 14. That's right, make it when it's halved, right? Yep.
Halved, and if there's a remainder, round down.
And so these 2 dead, vaporized. Purple, it's kind of just blobbing out. It's not surging and moving. It's just kind of going blur. You still hear little gnashing noises, but they're not as into it as they once were.
Is purple not in the turn order?
No, it's not.
What happened?
Oh, shoot.
I thought... I think you did roll for purple, but you may have removed it from the turn order at some point.
No, I pre-rolled these. I must have accidentally deleted purple by accident, but I recall.
Oh yeah, no, purple was the one you had to add in back.
Yeah,
because there was only 3 of them.
Yeah, that was 4. So I'm not fudging anything, and why would I fudge a 4? So does Aurelia want to move at all, or is that the end of her turn?
Oh, again, Aurelia only used 15 feet of her movement, so she's gonna go straight back. Well, she's going to go straight back and a little bit down so that Jinx has room to do whatever she wants. Unless you don't want me to be specifically here and you want to get the cracked, shoot it, purple. Well, you know what? You have water walking. I can go, like, here and it's still fine. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
That's my
turn. Is that the
turn.
end of Aurelia's? Okay. Jinx, it is your turn.
Jinx walks next to Muscle Teacher. She puts her, just a second. Yeah, just a second.
I feel a burning hands.
She holds her hands with her thumbs touching and fingers spread, and she casts Burning Hands.
I knew it!
15-foot cone, and, let's see, hold up.
That's a spicy cone.
You make it.
DC of 15.
DC...
Take half damage on a successful.
What's saving throw? Dexterity?
15 dexterity. Also, does Wild Magic Surge go off?
No.
Oh, yeah. How come your burning
it's
hands macro doesn't specify what saving throw? We'll fix that later.
Yeah, you might want to dex that. That is a failure with a 10. Your roll for damage.
She did. I set up the macro so it just does it right away.
All right. Yeah. Wild Magic Surge does not go off on its own.
It does not go off on its own. Still got it. And with that, much in the same aspect of when Fu and Luna made their fire attacks, these just kind of burn and slag and just turn to ash. As you hear the ones ferocious just kind of go into
The Jinx goes,
that is dead.
You look over at Aurelia, and you just see like a glistening glow smile off of her. Ah, I feel better now.
She's released all that pent-up irritation. All right, with that,
Uncle gives a sigh and is like, so I guess we're not getting more gold.
With that, there is little more remaining of those odd living, biting gold coins.
So has anyone try to see what is right?
Let's see. Ankel, what do you speak?
I speak halfling, gnomish, common, undercommon.
Okay. Aurelia, what do you speak?
Common and infernal.
I believe so. I believe that. Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. And
Elvish, Sylvian, and common for Lief.
I mean, unless you count thieves can't as.
If you guys give me 10 minutes, I can comprehend language the thing.
But yeah, no, I was gonna say unless you count thieves can't as a language, but
it kind of is, but this isn't.
Yeah, Jinx speaks deep speech, giant, common, and infernal.
That's great. She still can't read.
Yeah, but out of curiosity, what's in any of those languages? Tell me.
You don't know. I'm not divulging that.
I mean, the way you said, well, it's too bad she can't read.
Right?
Well, shucks. So, is everyone pausing?
Holy shit! Not only did I find it, I found a GIF of it.
So is everyone pausing to let Aurelia ritual cast?
That's what Aurelia's like. She's just like, yay. All right. Yeah, I can just do comprehend language if it is a language at all. If it's just runes, then this isn't going to work. But then at that point, we will know it's runes.
I'll say, with your magic background, you understand runes are generally oriented in a way that each rune is singular and means a general intent. This is more oriented in a word-like structure, so this is a language, and it is not a runic imprint.
Why is it not? Yeah, okay.
Does anyone else want to do anything while Aurelia is doing her 10-minute ritual cast?
You know, I was a little off topic. What I was gonna say is, man, I had a choice between gnomish and dwarvish, and I went with gnomish, and we've not seen a single gnome.
Well, I mean, that could change. Also, by the way, in this passage, there is a door, a very heavy metal door set within the stone.
Hmm.
Very appropriate. So, I didn't hear if was anyone wishing to do anything or no. I didn't hear anything. So,
I mean, there's not
other
much
than
for...
keeping guard and making sure I don't die.
Uncle's just gonna stand by, twiddling with a dagger.
Okay.
Like, the thing about Lief is he literally has nothing to do.
With that, the 10 minutes go by relatively uneventful. That horribly stagnant smell of water and rot continues, and you swear you hear a faint rattling growl somewhere in the distance down the halls that are available to you. Aside from that, nothing really registers as an immediate threat.
Is this from StarCraft? It sounds like it's
No
from
idea.
Say again?
The spell goes off. What?
No, this isn't StarCraft.
The spell goes off without a hitch, and these two placards, with comprehend languages, you just understand what they mean, or can you also understand what the language itself is as well?
For the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language you hear. You also understand any written language you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. Who's going to give me a boost over to the water? It says nothing about I know what the language is. It's just I can read it in the most literal sense possible.
I'll say Fu gives Aurelia a boost.
Spell does not decode secret messages in a text or a glyph, such as an arcane sigil, that's not part of a written language. So if it's written in a cryptic tone, I read it as the literal cryptic tone, just in case.
All right. With these, they're kind of split up. It's a way that it's a singular statement, but they're split up between the two placards. The leftmost placard, reads, "To all who would steal," and to the right, "Let this be their just rewards."
Yeah, that sounds about right. So it's So Aurelia says that out loud and then goes, "Yeah, that's about right."
Wait, so
it's
it was
just
a good thing I didn't try to stake any gold.
Correct. It is
Very
this
good.
this is designed as a lesson for those who steal.
Well, I didn't take the lesson, so who cares?
Quite. Let's continue onward.
I like how Uncle's just to me. I didn't take the lesson, so you know what? That means I can continue to steal.
Screw it. All right, with that, you've got the passage that you recently came from that also has a passage going off in that direction, or you have the large metallic door immediately in front of you.
Let's go to the door.
All right. Door has no visible turnable handle, but it does have an indent that looks like you could put your hand in and slide to the side. There's also what seems to be some kind of odd opening beneath this handhold. It does not move when you try to push, pull, or slide it. If only there was someone that you had in the group that could see to these kind of situations.
I didn't fully hear what you said. What?
I said if only there was someone in your group that could see to these kind of situations. It's locked.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. Sorry. No, no. My mind kind of like. No,
I'm
I can
finding that out now. We were in the middle of something
Alright.
I couldn't really guess.
I believe it's make a d20 with your proficiency modifier in these tools.
What is our current uptime on the stream?
2 hours, 40 minutes, 40 seconds.
Oh, we've only been up for 2 hours.
It feels longer.
Do we need to take a break?
Yeah, but it's because what I want to do is going to take longer than a break. People are wondering if we're going to go for food.
Wait, what would be my?
All right. So how tools work is the exact same. It's effectively you do how the game formulates how the game formulates skill checks, but then you just do it manually and you understand what's happening.
No, I was just trying to say, like, how do I know my proficient thing?
It should be shown in your.
It should be on your chart.
It's D20 plus your proficiency modifier.
Where is tool proficient? Tool proficiencies are underneath features. You decided to pick expertise in thieves' tools, so anytime that the thieves' tools come up, it is you look at the stat that the DM deems the most appropriate stat for the current situation. You look at your proficiency bonus and you double it, and then that's what you roll. So what stat is the most appropriate for this type of lock, DM?
Dexterity.
So 5 plus 6 is 11. So roll a d20 plus 11.
Okay.
Slide your tools in. Takes a few moments, but you do eventually hear a ratcheting click. Pull your tools back, and the door slides open with no issue.
All right, awesome.
Revealed a room.
Oh no!
Very nice chest situated within it.
I'm fucking shooting an arrow at it.
But you have mage hand. Go ahead.
All right,
fucking shooting an arrow at it.
Make an attack roll.
Attack roll?
Yes, just because I want to see the number.
All right.
Because funny things may or may not happen depending on the number.
So it wouldn't be a sneak attack. I'm just making sure.
Just roll a d20 and make an attack roll first.
He's not asking for damage. He's asking for hit.
Yeah.
All right.
Hits it, the damn thing explodes.
All right, just roll a d20.
Yep.
Well, actually, one of them said for the lesson. What does this one say? Fuck. Wait, where's your pluses?
I didn't know what.
It's your attack modifier.
Well, it would be he's 5 with dexterity, and he's 3 with 5, 6, 7, 8. It would be an 8.
So that's
9.
17.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was looking for a 20. No, your arrow flies through the air and embeds itself rather firmly in the top portion of the chest, with a resounding. Nothing more seems to react.
Is it mage hand
Jinx
time?
whispers to Uncle. Go open it.
I'm gonna slowly inch towards it.
There might be gold in there.
I wanna. Would it be perception or investigation to see if there's a trap on it?
Investigation for trap.
God damn it.
Perception is to see if you find the chest. Investigation is to see if there's anything funny about the chest.
I need to fucking get better in investigation.
Well, to be fair, you have thieves' tools. If you use thieves' tools to check for traps, then you would use the plus 11, because that's the point. That's why you get the proficiency in the tools.
Mm-hmm.
So if you thieves' tools look around, then that should be a 24.
I mean, okay.
That's the reason for thieves' tools. So that's the number to use when you're checking for traps.
I mean,
11.
I didn't know. I was okay. Yep. Cool.
You use your thieves' tools and you slide one of the implements underneath the rim of the chest, separating the lid from the body, and you feel your tool connect with something. And getting an idea of what this kind of mechanism is, you give it a short twist, and you hear a faint, and you slowly open it up a bit. And what you felt was a tripwire of some sort is no longer active, and the trap is no longer in danger. You see what looks to be a rather nasty-looking mini crossbow pointing right up at your face.
Oh,
he can learn.
Fuck you.
Good for you, little buddy. I knew you could do it.
And see, that's
Cough.
I forgot about that.
I'm gonna open it up now.
All right, as I said, you see a small handheld crossbow, not exactly designed for a hand, but a small crossbow pointed right at your face that would have likely let that bolt in it fly right into your face if you hadn't disarmed it. And within, you find some rather odd items. You see these two shriveled, grayish-red, stalk-like formations with a bulbous formation towards the tip. And you also see what looks to be a number of hands, long, rotted, and shriveled. And also 5 gold.
That is you earned that. You earned that 5 gold.
I'm taking that 5 gold. Fuck.
If you did you want to try and investigate anything, or were you just gonna swipe the gold and get the?
I'll investigate, but I'm swiping that gold too.
All right. If you want to investigate this kind of stuff, I suggest making a nature check.
Nature? Is my nature better?
Yeah, make a nature check. Actually, make an arcana check.
Okay, I mean, they're all +1, so it doesn't really matter.
Hey, man, this blinking's just.
Oh shit!
You have been getting really good rolls.
While you don't normally, pull from experience in the arcane, your ventures across your lifetime have brought you into understanding what these strange eye stalks are. These are 2 eye stalks that at one time belonged to a living beholder, but they are now shriveled and dried and not quite rotted, but definitely aging.
Okay.
The hands themselves look to be human hands. Some are bare, some are in armor plating, some are in leather gloves, but aside from that, nothing more seems to be out of the ordinary. Aside from those 2 beholder eye stalks.
All right, I'm gonna look at it and just go, oh fuck. All right, so we got some things that you guys might wanna come check out.
On one regard, those eye stalks could be anywhere between, that's interesting, to do not touch that ever, depending on which of the 10 they are.
Which is why I'm asking everyone to come inside before I touch anything other than the gold.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Bring everyone inside of the confined room in the potential disintegrate ray eyeballs. Let's do this.
Well, you know what? I have 5
This
gold,
is gonna be the greatest way. This is gonna be the greatest total party kill of all time. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna need everyone to roll. No.
Fuck. Everyone roll a destiny dice roll. There's no mods. Just roll a d20 and whatever happens.
Can I just say it's like what was it worth it? I got 5 gold, so hell yeah.
So what did you find? Luna's kind of looking over your shoulder and looking down into the chest.
Wait, what was it called again?
Beholder.
You know that the
beholder eye stalk.
You don't know
it's a beholder eye stalk thing.
Yeah, you don't know what a beholder means. You just know these belong to.
Yeah, it's like I've known about these from past things, but yeah.
Everyone who's practicing magic, make an arcana check.
Because I don't know magic, but I know what these fucking things are.
This is based on the knowledge of the name beholder.
Exactly.
Actually, I'll have Luna.
Oh, of course, Jinx. Oh no!
Again with the 1 on the Arcana check.
Not 1.
No, not 20 for Luna.
Please tell me that Luna's once again just shitting her pants.
Not
yeah,
20.
The normal, rich bluish gray hue to her skin has faded to a grayish blue, and she's very visibly disturbed. Oh, gods, those, a beholder is a giant floating xenophobic creature with many eyes capable of wreaking very much havoc and very much not welcoming to people venturing into its lair. Oh, what did I get us into?
And we're in its lair.
Possibly, these are dead eye stalks from a beholder. We don't know that what took these eye stalks is a beholder itself. But I dread to find what could do this to a beholder too.
So,
or just ballpark it. What are the chances that it's a beholder?
50-50?
That is the best answer. That is the best answer that I can get you without metagaming. With metagaming, oh boy, oh boy is the only answer I'm gonna give you.
So wait, no, Jinx turns to Luna and goes, so they're magical.
Yes.
Sweet. Jinx reaches to grab for them.
Oh god.
Fuck everyone.
Uncle immediately because
dog
Uncle knows,
pile on. Dog
these
pile
things,
on.
Uncle immediately takes an arrow and swats her hand.
Pause.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Jinx is making an action. If you want to do this, I'm gonna need Jinx to roll a dexterity roll. A straight dexterity roll, and Ankel to roll a straight dexterity roll.
Okay.
For speed of action. 10 for
straight.
So it'll be a plus
straight
5 from my dexterity, right?
Yeah, straight.
Not a save, just straight
pure
roll for dexterity.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a dex ability check.
Oh,
no!
So we gotta roll again, yeah?
I would say leave it up to the fate of a percentile dice. Both of you roll a D100. I'm curious now. And I swear, if you guys get the same number again, we're rolling a D1000. We're calling it good.
Thanks for
8%.
8. Okay, roll a D100, buddy. 85.
Well, Jinx, as you reach your hand out, Ankel quickly swats it away. You feel a faint prick of pain, but nothing severe as the metal head of the arrow smacks you on your hand.
Ow! Dick?
No,
Maybe.
no touching.
Jinx, maybe we shouldn't be grabbing the nasty beholder eye stock things that currently has our client very afraid.
But they're dead.
That
We
doesn't
don't
mean
know
it won't come back to life.
Okay,
Not
well,
all. We don't know what may have happened to the chest. We don't know what may be protecting them.
they're dead.
Jinx, you're not grabbing the eye stalks.
Okay? Teacher, you grab the eye stones.
All right. Leaf goes.
Should I-
Grabs her.
Actual team meeting. Should I mage hand grab the eye stalks and point it away from us in case something happens? Is that acceptable? Team meeting. I got mage hand for this reason. We could
No,
be in
some
the other.
from DMs
We could be in
aside.
the other room while we do this. I'm not hearing
Doesn't
yeses
matter
and
to
I'm not
me.
hearing no's.
Does not matter to me. I'm not looking to die.
I'm guessing Jinx is like anything to touch the eye stalks.
Well, they're magic. Spells require magic things, so why the fuck not?
Alright. Lief, are you okay with mage handing the things?
I'm just gonna.
I agree.
I'm
Everyone
just gonna
slightly
leave.
everyone slightly backs up. Aurelia gets enough to be able to see where the chest is, puts out a mage hand and grabs one of the eye stalks. Does anything happen upon touching?
Why is Jinx still in the room?
Is Jinx remaining in the room?
She's staring intently at the.
Okay. As actions have been taken,
Oh, no.
actions are being taken, and effects are in motion now. As the mage hand reaches into the chest and grabs an eye stalk, is there a specific eye stalk, or are you just doing it randomly?
Well, due to the fact that you have not told me how to differentiate between the two eye stalks, yes, it's
No, I know,
randomly.
but you're playing her as
Okay. As the hand dips down and grabs the eye stalk, lifting it up, the eye stalk seems to remain largely inert before a thick black ichor drools from the dried shut eyeball and the severed stump from which it was once adhered to a beholder,
gross.
and promptly flails about
Ew.
as
Jinx starts backing up from that.
nope, this is happening in seconds. That is
Oh, God.
This is why you leave the room when
And
we
this
are
is the part. This is the part where the DM RNG rolls to figure out what eye stalk it is, and this is either going to be very bad or lethally bad. There is no. That's it.
You're just actually
Okay.
trying to kill yourself. That's
Jinx,
what you're trying to do.
absolutely pray that it's just the telekinesis beam and you get thrown. Any of the other 9 will be worse.
okay. Jinx, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Shit.
Dark on
I have.
Punch.
I know
Oh,
too much
no.
about beholders. I know way too much.
Shh. strength saving throw.
I got that retard strength, yo.
All right.
I don't know how many times I've made that joke about her, though.
All right. As this beam strikes you square in the chest, right in the middle of your collarbone, you feel what, honestly, you would register almost what it feels like to get decked by Fu mid-rage with all of his weight thrown into it.
Please.
Ow.
But it attempts to throw you, but you manage to resist the force, only skidding back 5 feet.
Okay.
And your chest aches.
It's bruised.
I'm gonna burn it.
I agree. I have no complaints.
Please do.
I mean, first time for everything. Let her rip.
So, I'm assuming Aurelia drops the eye stock back into the chest, and
Mage hand drops it. Aurelia screams, "Burn it!" and then gets all the way behind the wall.
All right,
Okay.
I cast Firebolt at the chest.
All right. Actions have been taken. Pause. Jinx is remaining in the room while casting this spell.
Fuck.
Anthony, please.
Well, he's already said, like,
Oh my god.
there's nothing I can do at this point.
Here we go.
All right.
Well, yeah, I guess we're gonna have to introduce apples soon.
You just find apples just, in the fucking...
Oh fuck,
And
that's a
then
D10.
here-
Oh shit, that's a
Leaf
D10.
just kills
Oh
him.
shit,
You-
that's a
I
D10.
don't want to play with
Oh, I did not, Jim. Ignore that you saw that. You see another beam of energy sail out from the chest. This one is not the same color as the one that hit you before. The one that hit you was a slight green. This one is an inky black.
Oh boy.
And fortunately, as it's in the chest, it largely seems to be self-contained, but the flailing about causes a glimpse to strike your arm. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Which arm?
Oh. Well, bye, Jinx. Definitely bye, Jinx.
As the ray strikes you, you feel this ungodly fear grip you.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Fear beyond survival instincts. This is fear tugging at your sanity. You are terrified of whatever is burning inside that chest, the likes of which you've never experienced in your entire life.
That's fine. Fear's good.
For
She needs
1
to
minute,
live.
you are terrified to an extent you have never felt.
Well, you're terrified of those eye stalks, and those eye stalks are burning, and we're gonna burn them, so... That could have been way worse.
Aside from that, nothing more happens. You're simply very afraid for 1 minute, and it eventually passes.
Okay.
Heart still hammering in your chest, heartbeat ringing in your ears, but largely alive.
Well, it wasn't the petrify ray, it wasn't the disintegrate ray, and it wasn't the instant death ray, so good. because it's apparently necessary to have 3 instant kill laser beams on the table.
Okay, Anthony, what has Jinx just done?
Jinx ran out of the room screaming, and she's now knelt on the water trying to get under the surface, but she can't because she forgot she's wearing the ring.
So it's like watching a dog trying to dig up a toy that's underneath a door.
Yeah. You just see her just hitting on the surface of the water, like, ah!
Yeah, like it persists for a minute, but it eventually fades, and it's a fade to where it's like a light switch, like boom. Why was I afraid of that?
Uncle looks over at Aurelia and says, "Yeah, that doesn't seem at all normal."
Leaf walks over and he's like, Jinx, are you okay?
Aurelia spawns mage hands and then cuddles her own mage hand. Mage hand is OP.
Fu gives you a pat on the head. Now, what did we learn?
She's still screaming.
So what did we learn?
What did we learn?
Leaf's gonna pick her up.
57, 58, 59, 60. Why am I here?
Well, I was just about to say before you started counting, Leaf just picks her up and hugs her.
Okay, so Lief is hugging her, and then the 60 minutes hits, or 60 seconds hits. She stops screaming. She looks at Lief. She goes, "Aw, hugs are nice."
All right.
Uncle looks over at Aurelia and says, "I'm pretty sure that was probably the best thing that could happen from that situation."
Absolutely.
Right, so that's par for the course. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's
How destroyed is
continue
that
on
chest?
with our day.
It is burnt to ash now. There are two very yes, there is now jiggling butt cheeks where it once was. The eye stalks that were once there are no longer there. The crossbow trap sits burnt and mangled, nothing more, and the hands themselves are similarly burnt.
Absolutely amazing. I'm gonna shoot another firebolt at it and call it a day.
And hits the ashy mound and burns it more.
Got it.
All right.
Let's move
All
on.
right. Here's the more important question. What's down this hallway?
You come across another
The
door.
rest of the beholder, you're dead.
This one looks to be flush against the wall, but you see a circular indent that just begs to be pushed.
All right. So, Uncle calls out to the rest of the group. So, we found another door. Do we want to proceed?
Yes. Anything to get us out of this room.
All right.
Yes.
Uncle pushes the door.
You hear a deep rumbling sound as the door slowly sinks into the ground and reveals another room.
So you guys want to hear another joke as we walk?
No.
You know what?
Helps them actually reveal it.
After that, you get one. Never mind. No time.
Oh. Okay. Maybe later.
No, you can give the joke as you guys are walking into the room.
Oh, yay.
Yay.
So,
Good joke.
how do you know a halfling got into your pantry?
Damn it.
Oh God.
Only the lower shelves have been empty.
Why is this a halfling joke?
Because you're
Okay. Okay, that one was kind of funny.
You know what? You know what? All of you are assholes.
Thank you for keeping us alive, Uncle.
Joke
You're
having
welcome.
been had.
I
What is
need
the
your hat, Dick.
what is
Okay,
the
everyone but
marching-
Lief. Okay,
What
what?
is the marching order of everyone coming into this room?
Uncle's first, so.
Jinx is holding one of Leaf's hands because she's just like, yeah, hugs are nice.
I'm not going in front of Fu.
All right. Fu's going frontwards. Luna is kind of still waiting. She'll
Luna can stay in the back and do whatever she wants.
Luna's just there to look pretty.
she doesn't exactly wish to stay in the room that the eye stalk lasers went off in, but yeah, she's definitely going to trail in behind. The room in question that you come into now, it's a little more macabre. You see what looks to be four statue-like statues. Shut up. That all look to be humans of some form, humanoids of some form, in varying modes of expression. The statue over here, with its head unfortunately removed, looks to be an armored individual in a stance of fear, arms held up as if trying to block something. The statue here depicts.
I'm getting some real Gantz vibes.
Oh my god.
Dude, they're even green and red. Holy shit.
The statue here depicts a woman in robed garb seeming to have silently accepted her fate. And the statue here depicts another male figure in leather armor, looks to be thrusting forward a sword of sorts in mid-action. And another statue seems to have toppled, shattered on the ground.
Oh, this doesn't seem, good.
10
ground-
points come to life.
The ground itself also bears scars. You see, right along the ground, there seems to be something that gouged out the ground itself, as if the material itself was burned or melted away.
Okay.
10 copper, those things come to life.
So, I wanna roll investigation.
Oh, and there's also a burnt guy over here. Sure.
I wasn't in here before.
Roll away.
Yep.
All right. Looking through the room, you notice two doors. There was supposed to be a door here, but I forgot to put it in RPG Maker. You see a metallic door here, and you notice a slight indent here. which looks to be some kind of hidden barrier of some kind.
I'm trying to find so hard where he pinged. I didn't see a ping.
There is a hidden door here, and there's supposed to be a door here, but I forgot to actually put it in an RPG Maker, so pretend there's a metallic door in this area. The pings are a lot quicker now. I don't know why.
I'm not seeing any. Oh, there, I saw a ping.
Yeah, but that's me. I don't understand why I'm not seeing his
any
ping.
Huh.
Oh, that was, there it goes.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Hidden door here, metallic door here.
Got it.
You also notice, Ankel, right in this location, as well. Come on. There we go. Come on. Bad button. There we go. Here. Here, all have telltale signs of the tiles being slightly recessed, just barely, but your eyes can tell these are more recessed than the area around them. These are pressure plates of some kind.
All right.
The door here, you don't see a trigger mechanism immediately beside it.
Okay. I look back. Uncle looks back at the group and says, "So, we got some statues and what seems like 4 plates of something to put something in, or something that sets off traps. So,
is there any way out of this room aside from the way we came in?
It looks like there's a door on the other side, but I'm not too sure where it leads or if we can open it."
Did Uncle detect the one that was here?
Yeah, there's a hidden door here, but you cannot see
how to open it.
You cannot see the opening mechanism, as opposed to the door that you opened, which looked to also have been a hidden door.
It's like, and and Uncle kind of hits it, and it's like,
hidden door?
Huh?
He hits the hidden door?
Yeah, he just kind of like taps it.
Okay. Hear a faint metallic tap, nothing more.
And it seems like there's a hidden door here, but not sure any way of opening it.
All right, hold on. So he walks up and stands before the door. All right, let me see to this. And he's gonna make a strength check, or not a strength check. 20. Try and bash down that door. Jesus. 7. Straight up, fireman kicks the seemingly wall-like space. A massive sound of shattering rock hits the air before the space promptly caves in. And Fu has effectively opened up the way.
Open sesame.
The wall that you see there is pretend it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
I just put it there so that it wasn't obvious.
Yep. No, we understand when we see the floor behind it.
Yeah,
so, does anyone want to walk down the new secret passageway?
I don't know, Sneaky Buddy. Do you want to?
I was going to say, you do.
No, I know. Uncle's just trying to put the job on someone else. All right.
And coming into this room, you can make a perception check. Or no.
Yeah, I'm going to make a perception.
All right. Make a roll.
Shit, even more puzzle.
It could be, it couldn't be. Who knows?
I'm really low on time.
Damn.
You don't see anything. With that there, since previous parties are currently waiting recent engagements, we're going to pause here. Would that be agreeable, or do we need to end?
I'm fine with whatever.
What now?
I'm being repeatedly asked on whether or not when we're going to go get food. But if I go get food, it's gonna be like I'm going to go like out for dinner. So I'm trying to figure out when to do that. I'm getting really short on time for myself.
I'm fine with ending it here if we want to do that.
Oh, so pausing here?
And then picking up at the next session. I mean, if we need to.
That or we would all reconvene in like an hour and a half, but that's kind of extreme.
Fuck that noise.
I probably would be asleep because I'm like getting tired. That's why I'm like,
All right. Well, with that, because unfortunately with Richie gone and with Darkon gone, I'm not feeling capable of controlling 3 characters at once while also pushing the plot. So we are going to end things for here for now.
I also really don't want to miss these. If that previous trap makes me want to see like all that's what's in here.
So, unfortunately, we're going to have to end this a little bit earlier. However, we have next session to look forward to and see just what wonderful, pleasurable terrors await our group in this rather deadly dungeon so far.
Yeah.
I have now decided that I'm going to be using the metal part of an arrow to prick Jinx if she ever needs to be pricked.
All right. Well, with that, is there any departing announcements that anyone would like to make?
Yeah, I do have a few actually. So first of all, thank you all for coming to join us for another Dungeons and PhatDogs. Also, we are, for those of you who aren't aware, we are really close to reaching our next milestone for our Patreon.
Yep.
This one's kind of a big deal because once we hit that, which is $500 a month, we can begin work on original content. That's something that we've been wanting to do for like 8 years, 7 or 8 years. So for those of you who are kind of on the fence and you're not sure if it's something you'd want to do, there will be new stuff that gets added as a result once we hit to the tiers, that is, once we hit that 500 a month marker. So yeah,
Do it.
So thank you for joining us. I'm PhatDog92. I'm joined by Chibitails, Explodicy, DarkonFullPower, and Royce.
Heyo.
Yeet.
Everyone have a fantastic rest of your weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.